DJ's spinning, I said, my. Flash is fast, Flash is cool. Francois Sapar, Flash ain't no dude, and you don't stop. Sure shot, go out to the parking lot. And you get in your car, and you drive real far, and you drive all night, then you see a light. Comes right down and lands on the ground, and out comes a man from Mars. And you try to run, but he's got a gun. And he shoots you dead, and he eats your head, and then you're in the Man from Mars. And you go out at night, eating cars, you eat Cadillacs, Lincolns too, Mercuries and Subaru, and you don't stop. You keep on eating cars. And when there's no more cars, you go out at night and eat up bars where the people meet, face to face, dance cheek to cheek, one to one, man to man, dance toe to toe. Don't move too slow, cause the man from Mars is through with cars. He's eating bars, yeah, wall to wall, door to door, hall to hall. He's gonna eat them all. Rapture, be pure. Take a tour through the sewer. Don't strain your brain, paint a train. You'll be singing in the rain. I said, don't stop to punk rock.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
What dream did I just watch?
If I didn't just sell everyone on The Boys,
No.
You
did.
It's guys, look, I watched the video. I found that I was on TikTok. Welcome everyone. But we'll get to you, audience. We'll get to you in a second.
Wow.
I was watching on TikTok, and this came on because they played a small part of this in the actual episode. Like somebody's watching TV and this video's playing, and I was like, they must have shot like a whole sequence. I know they did. I know how Eric Kripke and how they do their stuff, right? So I looked it up, and I was like, my plan was like, let me make an intro using the song. This is a Rapture by Blondie.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, let me make a whole video, and I was like, I didn't get enough time to do a full intro, which I will work on an intro for the show. It won't be as long, but I wanted you guys to see the full video because Jensen Ackles is he's just having so much fun as Soldier Boy.
Oh yeah.
So was that supposed to be on solid gold in the 80s? Because that's the look.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So because in the story, he was around in like the 60s, maybe 70s, late 70s to 80s, right? And then he gets Captain America, and then now he's in the contemporary times. So yeah, it's really, really cool, really fun. The season's almost over too. Like season 3 is about 2 episodes from being done. So if anybody's been now I'll address the audience. If you guys have been watching the reviews, which I know some of you have, like I didn't plan to do one for every week, but it's been so much fun to follow along. And then last Friday we just got I've never read the comics, but I think everybody kind of is familiar with the Hero-gasm, just from like the news and stuff, and the show kind of hyping it up. So in the comics, Hero-gasm is this like volume that not the whole thing centers on it, but the 7 from all the soups from the show or from the comic, they go to this island and have a giant orgy. So imagine them trying to adapt that into this TV show. So
you're adapting Garth Ennis into a TV show. I mean, they're already in season 3 and they're doing better than they did with Preacher.
Yeah, I love Garth Ennis. I think a lot of us are. I would say all 4 of us are probably Garth Ennis fans.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think his comics have really fun ideas. Sometimes they maybe go into a too weird direction or too edgelordy. Like, I mean, they were from the mid 2000s, right?
Yeah.
Or even late 90s.
Early 90s.
Late
90s.
So, but anyways, because I have seen a lot of people said, don't read the Boys comics, just watch the show. It's so
really because I just discovered, like, in my Humble Bundle library, I have like the omnibus, so I downloaded it.
I'd still read it. I mean, it's fun, and it's also neat to see how everything kind of ties to where it is now, because obviously Huey was drawn as Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
But Simon Pegg plays Huey's dad in this.
Oh, does he? Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's great.
So there are neat things to see in there, and plus how they adapt, because you know, the story they tell in the 90s is obviously very male led and doesn't have the female perspective the show does.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyways, welcome everybody. We're back from this is the Next Issue podcast. On today's show, after we catch up a little bit, we're going to be talking about our favorite comfort media. We know it's been a difficult week, month, years.
Are you a WB executive on the Flash movie and you're not sure what to do with Ezra Miller and you just need some comfort media? Well, we're going to talk you through this.
You probably could have stopped. You probably could have stopped at WB exec, and that would apply to like a lot of the stuff that like we just got some news that the character of Mir has fully been removed from Aquaman 2. And
I see. I've heard that as a rumor forever. I have not heard it confirmed.
Yeah.
You have confirmation?
No, I guess I don't. Let me hit up. My contacts at WB. Or you know, like they keep canceling your favorite shows from the CW, except The Flash for some reason that's still going.
I think you just take the TV show and turn it into a movie and just scrap the entire Ezra Miller Flash movie.
Yeah, we'll see.
But they're so invested at this point. I mean, how much of that film is done?
Oh, right? The film's done.
Yeah.
So
he's talking with what I think she's 12 years old. How old is this girl that Ezra Miller's supposedly talking to? She's very, very young, and he's pulled a gun on her parents.
Oh my God!
It's like the stories are insane. The parents are just trying to, you know, find their kid.
Well,
I think you're right, Clay. You just gotta scrap it at this point.
Take a loss. Just take the L.
Remember, they did an entire movie where they removed Kevin Spacey from it and put Christopher Plummer in it. So
that's true.
You know, they could just remove her and put King Shark in.
Or in The Flash, they just put in what's his face from the TV show. I mean, just like take footage from the TV show and just digitally insert him. So.
Yeah.
I think it would be ballsy if you got John Wesley Shipp, but got the 90s Flash to do the Flash movie. He takes over for Ezra Miller.
That would be ballsy. I love it.
You know who they should get? What's his name? From Smallville. He also voices Wally in the Justice League.
Yeah. Michael Rosenbaum.
Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah, Michael Rosenbaum.
Yeah.
Just get him.
That'd be good.
I like Rosenbaum.
He's good.
He's awesome.
Well, no, it's funny is he's actually him and Tom Welling are going to be doing a new podcast where it's called a Smallville rewatch, where they're going to be rewatching all the episodes of Smallville and doing commentary about it. So
great. Oh, that's awesome. I've been looking for a reason to rewatch Smallville.
There you go.
So, all right. But yeah, in the meanwhile, while all that stuff is going on and everything else with the world, we've been we didn't have a show last week because it was some kind of Father's Day holiday. Josh, you have a good one?
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. You get a bunch of baskets. Was that the surprise? All the surprise gifts were baskets from everyone you know?
Yes. No. I got a very nice some items to use in the kitchen, and then a really nice pocket knife. So It was good. Yeah,
very cool.
And then also there was the Fan Expo, which I did run into Josh. We didn't plan to meet, but we were both there on Friday.
I mean, it was like finding a needle in a haystack. I'm just standing there with my daughter and her friends, and I turn to the left, and Daniel's just walking by. I'm like, Daniel, and then we never saw each other again the whole night. Like.
That was funny. And then, like, I was telling the guys before we started, while you were getting coffee, like, you texted me later, like, we should have got a picture for the podcast or for the socials or something. So, as you guys can tell, we are very bad at that.
I will play the devil's advocate and say that place was crazy busy.
Yeah.
And so,
really,
it was overwhelming. And we got there right when it started. And I foolishly, because I've never been to like a real fan expo before, I went to the New Year's one with you guys, but not like the big one.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's going to be pretty quiet. Let's just get there at 4. And it was already fairly busy. And then it just kept getting busier and busier throughout the night. So
the last time I was at a fan expo is when we did the first remote control thing back at Gillies, and that summer of like almost 16. And you need a cattle prod to move to that damn place.
Yeah. It's not. They're not fun shows. They're not run very well. I mean,
they're not.
If you want to feel the chaos, I did take my GoPro and walk around with it for like, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. And then, so there's some footage. There's a video on the channel that you guys can go take a look. And
and you put great music to it. So like, I enjoyed just watching, because I was like looking, it was like being there, and being poor. You just can look, you just can't buy anything.
Yeah, I finally found the reason to use that GoPro I bought a long time ago for
a con.
Yeah, that was fun. We also have a panel, Katie Lott's panel. I was able to record it. I don't know if they allowed me to do so, but I mean, I got
it's up on YouTube.
Yeah,
yeah.
Is there an official one?
Yeah, it was your feed. It was on our feed, so I watched the video. I watched about 5 minutes of the video.
Oh yeah, that's my video. Yeah. I took that. No, yeah, I didn't. That's our own footage.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, whether or not they allowed you, it's up on YouTube.
I mean, if they take it down, go for it. But
no, I've seen a lot of stuff show up in my feed since watching that people went to Fan Expo and filmed. So there's nobody pulling any of that down.
I don't think they care unless it's specifically maybe one of the people tells them like, "Oh, you don't let this out because I said something stupid or something like that." But
I mean, it's a 20-minute commercial for their convention.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
so all right. Well, let's get into it so we don't take too long. I know some of you guys have a hard out, anyways. Let's just go around. We'll just go around each other's to talk about all the previously on stuff, and then we'll get into Comfort Media. So I'm gonna let you kick it off, Clay.
All right. I finally finished Criminal, the deluxe edition, the first volume. I mean, it's probably one of the best crime books in comics, and the deluxe edition is the best way you can get it. And it's just so goddamn good. Like, Brubaker and Phillips is going to be one of the teams that they talk about during this time period.
Love
comics. It's gonna last for a long time. Criminal's so damn good, and like every one of those hardbacks that they put out, which is a slice of his Criminal run, they're worth the investment. Like, they're worth buying the hardback sight unseen. I will say the only bad Brubaker I've ever read was his first book he put out that was kind of a autobiographical type story, but he's very negative and his character's terrible, so you kind of hate him. So that was the only thing.
I know that back in the 90s. Lowlife.
Yeah. So that's the only reason I didn't really care for it. But yeah, Brubaker's insane.
It's. Oh, sorry. I was going to say if you're a Brubaker fan now and you know him from like his Marvel work and from this current stuff, go read Lowlife, because it is a very different. It feels very Gen X, and it seems like it is
very.
Brubaker grew up kind of and was like, I don't need to do that stuff. So,
next, one of the books that I found while cataloging is Omaha the Cat Dancer. Now, have you guys ever heard of Omaha the Cat Dancer?
Yes. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Why do you know of Omaha the Cat Dancer?
Because in the 90s, when I worked at a comic store, it was one of those books that we had a hard time shelving, because it was like, well, it's explicit, it is X-rated, but it's also like, it's not just pornography. It's like it has a story, it has really well-defined characters. So where do we put this? So yeah.
The reason Omaha the Cat Dancer is infamous is because it's the reason that the Comic Book Defense Fund exists.
Oh, I did not know that. That's fascinating.
The first lawsuit was against this comic book. I believe it was in a Michigan store. And so they got sued for having this as pornographic. And the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund came together and helped fight that fight. So it's kind of a neat thing. And do what?
This is the one with Keith. With his was this the book that Keith's employee got arrested for? You said
it might have been. I don't know.
That was the whole thing. back in like the late '90s, one of Keith's comics at the Keith Mockingbird location
Yeah.
was accused of giving. I guess was arrested for selling porn, even though everything was behind the fucking counter. And they were going to throw the charges against him. So basically, Keith worked to get the whole comic book defense fund to actually defend him for his court fees and everything. So.
Yeah, I do remember in the 90s, like buying books at Lone Star and being carded. And it was like, I was in my 20s and it was weird. I was like, I'm buying a comic book. And they're like, yeah, we have to do this now for all these Vertigo titles.
I don't know how true the story was. I remember somebody telling me, and it wouldn't surprise me given the laws in at least the old day Oklahoma. But somebody says if you were to like, if there was like a certain comic company like of the X-rated kind, if you were found in your car, it'd be the same kind of court like a fine as if you had like cocaine in your car. It was like they were that stringent about.
Boy, I'm so glad the culture wars are back. Let me tell you, this is really bringing back the memories. Let me tell you.
Well, it's like you see where like these underground comics spawn from, and why they come out at certain times, and so it was really interesting. And so as I'm bagging and boarding these, I open them up, and they're all autographed.
And a SWAT team showed up at Clay's house, including Jeremy Renner and Colin Farrell.
Oh man, but you have signed Omaha the Cat Dancer comics? Wow.
Yeah, I have like her first appearance, which is in a Bizarre Sex comics.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did you buy it autographed, or did you actually go get it autographed?
You know, that's what I'm trying to remember, because that was in the time period where I was like reading some underground stuff, but I was in Denton, and I went to a real shitty shop up there. It was like it was what you remember old shitty comic stores being like, with angry store owners who hated women and just kept stuff behind the counter. And
is this the one like right across the street from the art building?
I don't remember. My memories are foggy.
Was it near the Fry Street area?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
It was near I'm trying to think of the main road that goes through town.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like University, but I don't think that's right.
That sounds right.
It was like a hole in the wall shop, and so I had like a pull list there for like a year and a half until I got to the point where I drove to Louisville to get away from that shop. So, but I might have bought them there, and I know that they were doing cons in Dallas. They were doing fantasy festivals and stuff, and I might have gotten them autographed there, because I would just go to conventions and go, okay, who's here, and then try to find books on them. And so I would just buy books of people who were at the convention and just get them autographed. But it's Reed Waller and Kate Worley, and Kate passed away, I believe, in 2004, and Reed's still alive. I don't know where Omaha, who owns the rights, but they've done reprints and hardbacks of it. But yeah, that was the weird fun fact, that's Omaha the Cat Dancer is why we have the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund around.
Do one more thing, and then we'll rotate.
Okay. Shelby got me Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Guardians Disassembled hardback. Nice pickup. It includes the first appearance of Captain Marvel, the new Carol Danvers Captain Marvel, and first appearance of Agent Venom, because he joins the Guardians in this run. So it's really just 3 issues of Guardians wrapped around filler issues.
Is this part of the Bendis stuff? No, this is after Bendis, right?
No, this is Bendis.
Okay.
Bendis and Bradshaw.
I read this. Who's the artist on this? Because the cover.
Bradshaw.
Yeah. Oh, Nick Bradshaw. That's right. I have a nice Wolverine.
And this is where I'm discovering his art. So every pickup is such a cool. Like, I love seeing his work on Guardians.
The reason I read this book was because at that point I was following Agent Venom once his series was over, because I really love that character.
Yeah, he is cool.
So I was following him around to see where he went next. So this is all still Flash Thompson before he lost the symbiote.
Yeah, they do the whole episode of where they inject him with the symbiote and go through the whole setup, and that's the intro comic. But if you're getting it purely for Guardians, it's just going to fill space on the shelf because it's just 3 issues.
This is when Marvel was just throwing a bunch of stuff together, and then like we didn't have enough issues to fill in this volume, so let me throw you like 2 things in the back that may be kind of, whatever.
Yeah. Bendis wasn't writing for the trade properly. He just wrote some good stories, damn it.
And some bad ones. But yeah.
Yeah. But So Josh, you want to go next?
Oh, sure. Sort of a hodgepodge of stuff. So I read, I'm continuing to read Immortal Red Sonja, number 3. This is the first not great issue. It's not terrible, but the thing about it is it very much feels like a filler issue. And it's all like one battle. It doesn't really progress the story. It doesn't really, this whole issue could have been like 1 page of a standard comic, right? Or maybe
an email.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's not terrible, but it was the first one I was like, meh. But I want to talk about some Marvel stuff because of the 2 new Captain America series that they announced, I was least excited for this one. Mainly because I love the Sam Wilson Cap so much, and that the first issue of that was just so solid. And also, I didn't really care for all of the the ad art for this. That's why I got this cover. But this was a solid issue. Did you guys read it?
I did.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Okay,
So this is a symbol of
Sentinel of
Liberty. Which
so you got symbol of truth, Sentinel of Liberty, which is very confusing.
I love how it starts out. I love the fact that he gets his old family's apartment back, and then he's kind of living he's rebuilding the radio and kind of doing the talk radio like truckers do, and he's kind of doing he's kind of living he's finding life outside the superhero fandom.
Yeah,
and I think that was cool.
I really like that too, and I meant to take a screenshot of this because
I got it up.
Oh well, I was gonna say because this book does go to this page if you can. That's a great spread, by the way, but this book does a better job of advertising my profession than any of the actual advertising from my institution, because like the fact that Steve goes to a community college to take art classes, and I love the fact that he's intentionally drawing on an iPad. So it's like he's forcing himself out of his comfort zone, right? Like, because if you look to the right of him, I mean, other people are just drawing on like paper and stuff, but he and then the young girl with the blue hair are both drawing on iPads, and it's a touching moment. I would think in the year 2021, after we've had Chris Evans Cap, we've had those movies, it would be very hard to write a story with Cap where he's still the man out of time. And somehow this nails it. Like, it does a really, really good job. Now, I'm a little... I don't know why I'm making this hand gesture. I'm a little bothered by the mystery at the heart of this and how Winter Soldier's attached to it. I'm a little unclear about their relationship and what's happening, but it's a solid, fun issue. I had such a great time with it. So
very, very, just very interesting, and I really love the art. Which really, that's a thing that'll. If I'm on the fence, or if I'm not like super hooked by the story or all of it, if I'm having trepidations about that, like if you have a good artist, I'm gonna completely forget about that stuff. And when I got to the spread, I was like, this is it. Look at that. And then from here, it just kind of starts like I love when they put multiple people in the same person and multiple in the panel, and then we get this new. I don't know if this is a new character or not. The Destroyer. I'm not familiar.
It's supposedly based on I want to say like a Golden Age character, a Silver Age character that they're bringing back, but I didn't look into it. I saw it in a review somewhere.
But it immediately goes into action and stuff. So I think it did both things very well. It did the action and then catching you up on Steve and what's going on with him, and then the story, and then the action stuff. So very, very fun.
It was really, it was really good. It's funny you talk about the art, Daniel, because I also liked the art in it. But as I said earlier, all the ads promoting this series, I don't know if they were using the same artist's art or if they were, I don't know what they were doing, but it looked awful to me. It felt very 90s.
Yeah, it looked like it was definitely not done by So I guess let's credit people real quick.
Oh yeah.
Written by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, they're a writing duo, and the art is by Carmen Carnero.
Yeah.
So yeah, Carnero's been doing some really, really fun stuff. I think maybe was it the Spider-Man woman books, or it was something you were reading, Josh? I think that Carnero too.
Oh, that was Carnero as well. I did not realize that.
Yeah,
I actually like the art here better, to be honest. Interesting. Huh, okay. Well, just a quick third one, which was the biggest surprise of the week, and I cannot wait to talk about this with you guys. This is usually not my jam, but I had to pick up New Fantastic Four #1.
Hell yes.
And I just want to point something out. Speaking of things out of time, I cannot wrap my head around the fact that you open this up and it says this picks up immediately after 3 issues from the 90s.
Yeah.
And I want to know how many kids are picking this up going, why is the Hulk talking in gray? Like, why do they call him Mr. Fix-It? Like, this seems like such a weird-ass relic to revive right now.
No.
And, well, I mean, not for us, but if you're younger than us old farts, like, who's reading this thinking, oh, we needed this in 2021? Now, that said, Peter David and, God, who does the art? The art is great, too.
Art Adams.
No. It's Alan Robinson.
Oh, this is okay. I'm thinking of the original series.
Yeah,
he did the covers.
Yeah, this book is just hilarious. Like I smiled the whole way through. I was laughing my ass off.
The reason we need this is because everything else is crap right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know what that
Okay, all right.
But I'm going to disagree with that comment.
But it really says something that you've got to go back and directly spin off of 3 issues of Fantastic Four from the 90s to get non-crap in a Marvel book.
I love it. So Spider-Man's he's swinging after the Vulture, and the Vulture's like, "What are you leaving alone? I'm on my way to the doctor for a colonoscopy." And it's like, "Yeah, right."
I loved it. It was so great.
When the original series came out, it was awesome because it was like a Fantastic Four run that all of a sudden you had this new team and you didn't know why. And it went on for like 3 issues, and I'm pretty sure you couldn't find out online at the time what was going on. So
there was no online. I mean, unless you were on like AOL online in like a Marvel chat room, you wouldn't know.
That was before AOL. This one came out in like 91. AOL wasn't until like 97, 98 for a chat room.
Yeah.
So I thought it was almost a good 10 years.
Okay, so then,
you didn't have the only thing you ever knew was what was promoed, or if you got like I don't even know what year previews started coming out to where you could pre-order.
They would have. I mean, they would have been out by 91, or because I'm trying to think. I started working at the comic store in 93, 94, 93, and they were out then because that's how we all picked our stuff each month. So
I will tell you this: I don't normally pick up the previous book because why am I going to spend $5 on stuff I can find on the internet? But this upcoming one for this week features the new book by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, Vanish. So if you want to get something to maybe get signed by them later on, I think that'd be cool because they delayed the book just so they could get the cover for this preview. So hit up your comic shop, tell them, hey, can you hold the previews for me? I've already done so. But yeah, if you're watching, you get these kickbacks. I did want to say on the Fantastic Four, when I was looking at the wraparound cover, I had a question of like, why is there 2 things on the? But then somebody told me on Twitter. It's like the thing from Europe, who is a different character.
Yep, and she was part of the team at this point. So there was Ben Grimm's thing. I thought this was Alicia. Was this thing?
No,
is that not the case?
That's Sharon. Right. That's Sharon.
Sharon. Okay. So I have one other theory about this. because I keep trying to figure out, like at the back of it, the writer was like, I'm so glad Marvel let me do this because I love these issues and I want to bring it back. How does Marvel let this go? Until I was looking over game previews and noticed Midnight Suns is coming out.
Oh yeah.
Which feels, again, like a weird contemporary flashback to the gritty 90s Marvel stuff, right? Well, who's in Midnight Suns? This guy, this guy.
Everyone.
Hulk is, but he's a bad guy, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they're all in it. So I'm kind of like, okay, is this a way of doing two things at once? So I don't know.
They should just put out the series that came out then. But that book was good, and if they're trying to revive like weird team ups, it would be good.
Exactly.
They should just really bring back Marvel 2-in-1s.
Hell yeah!
Oh God, that'd be awesome. I would love that.
So, and the reason I didn't review this book this week was because I thought it was just Marvel's been doing some bullshit where they just reprint stuff and then sell it to you again.
Yeah.
Oh,
so I thought that's what this was. So I'm glad to hear
totally.
it's not. I'm glad to hear it's not. So I'm gonna check it out.
It's not. It's not. And it has a great opening. I mean, it's nice to see Peter David back in form because again, the last thing I read from him was that awful Rocketeer Spirit mashup, and this is like the Peter David I love, right? It has like really compelling like storytelling. It has some stuff you're like, whoa, like shocking, and then just tons of humor. So
Peter David is my favorite Spider-Man 2099 writer.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
He's my favorite Young Justice writer.
So
yeah.
Oh, interesting. That has a new writer this week. But Kyle, you stepping away?
No,
okay. Yeah, I was about to say
yeah.
That's a good transition. Kyle, you wanna go and
yeah, I'm actually gonna I'm gonna jump off for the comic books just for a second because we talked about that, and within the last couple weeks I watched the last episode for season 4 of Young Justice.
Dude, I've been spoiled on it. Oh my god.
Oh, what they do. So the whole thing's been they did it in like small chapters where they only use small members of the team.
Yeah.
And the first story arc was basically Megan, Connor, and Gar going to Mars for the wedding of Connor and
Megan,
or at least to get permission from Megan's family. When the whole process, you realize that apparently Superboy dies, and you get to realize that he's basically been transported to the Phantom Zone via Phantom Girl because the Legions come back in time to try to save his life. Through all these other things you go through, you have like one of the biggest story arcs was Clarion the Boy, which you come to find out that basically Naboo, Lord of Order is actually the son of Vandal Savage, and all this stuff kind of works out. So basically, you have a lot of the original members of the original Young Justice team go to the Phantom Zone to try to find Connor, but Connor's kind of messed up, thinks he's evil, and ends up joining Zod's team. So they all get out, and the whole thing comes down to where they basically save him, and they finish off with the wedding of Connor and Megan. But while they're there, all the Young Justice is there. Every tie-in from all the last 3 seasons, and you have Black Canary talking to Shazam, Batman, Red Tornado, and a few others, and she starts talking about how like we have too many people that have a PTS happening and trauma they can't deal with, so we need to make a place to where they can go and recuperate and be able to talk about their issues. Hence, you know where they're going with this.
Yeah, are they creating what Tom King created?
Heroes in Crisis.
Heroes in Crisis,
dude.
Wait,
that's some heavy shit.
Oh, I know.
This
series is not light. This last season has been fucking heavy as hell.
This show has been growing up with its audience.
Oh no
when
shit!
it came out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I think it's the closest thing to a spiritual successor to the Justice League animated that just really nailed the characters and then adapted or took some of the best parts of the comics and really adapted them in a really interesting way for the medium. So I need to catch up. Did you read the one shot? Or no, I don't know if it's a one shot. The Targets, the tie-in that came out. No, okay, I recommend it. It's pretty good.
Let me finish up. So so one of the things is they have a thing where basically Vandal Savage frees all of the Kryptonians from the Phantom Zone and freezes them on War World except for one. And you come to find out that both Kara Zor-El, who was trapped there, and Mary Marvel are now part of the Femme Fatales for Granny Goodness. which is going to the next season. They one of their it was Zod's wife. It becomes the new Green Empress because the eye from the Fatal Five is actually in the Fortress of Solitude, and she's pregnant, and she ends up going to this planet. She's saved, ends up going to this planet, and she basically realized the planet's Daxam. So she's going to be the colonization of Daxam. And then you come to find out later that basically Magan's brother, who's a white Martian, who's basically turned evil, is given control of another planet from thanks to Darkseid. And the planet is Drula. It's the planet where Chameleon Boy comes from. So he's basically going to be the start of that planet.
Oh wow!
Yeah, dude, this is like some deep.
This is
lore.
deep DC space
I love
shit.
it. I love it, and I need to catch up. If anybody's never seen this, you can just go watch the whole thing. It's all on
Netflix. No, HBO. Sorry, HBO.
Yeah, really fun. I remember when they canceled that show and then they brought it back and then they canceled it again and we thought we'd never see it again.
Yeah, it's like it's not as fast moving as previous seasons, so it takes a little bit to get through. But but it all builds up. Small stuff you find in one episode just builds up into something else later, and it just like with Gar after Connor dies goes into major PTS and basically goes just depressed, and so he has to end up getting help, and it's just something that they deal with throughout the whole series, and it's just wow.
How many episodes in a season?
26, I think.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's a full.
But they're 20-minute episodes, right? Because it's a cartoon.
Well, 23. If we know
I guess the ones that aired on TV are 20 minutes, but yeah, the later ones they have more freedom.
But they'll release so many episodes and take a break, and release so many episodes and take a break. It's not like it's not like one full.
It's almost like they're releasing trade paperbacks.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So cool. What else, Kyle?
Let's see. They released issue 5 for Silver Surfer Rebirth. We're talking about going back and reading, old 90s stuff, and this was, it's basically Silver Surfer and Thanos having to get the reality gem, and they defeat one of Galactus's old minions who's become cybernetic now, and they get the gem back, and you realize that Thanos was officially the keeper for that gem, because you never knew back when they did the Infinity Watch who had that last gem, but he's officially the one who had it. And basically, and it ends up leaving with Genus Feld being his old self back when the issue first started, and he goes, maybe I'll take some time to actually go to Earth and learn about my lineage and everything. But it was again, it's Ron Lim doing the artwork, and again, it's going back where New Fantastic Four is something old from the 90s, good comics compared to the crap we're reading now. I'm going to stay on that tangent. I'm sorry, but I'm having a hard time reading anything.
I will say Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman's Hulk right now is the funnest book because it is insane and batshit, and I'm loving it. Ryan Otley, I'm sorry, and I just read the first 6, so I'm getting into the.
You're about to get into the Banner War story.
Yeah, the Banner
you
War.
You need to catch up on Thor if you haven't been reading.
Oh yeah,
yeah. They're both stacked here. I'm finally getting my head wrapped around both of them, but man, I'm loving it. It is fun. It is great to see that the angle they're taking is that Hulk is the protector of from Banner. And Banner's the crazy one, and he split the Hulk into his physical nature, and his rage is what he's using to power him as a spaceship.
Yeah,
and to travel through dimensions. And so as he's traveling through dimensions, he's pulled out by another Bruce Banner from a world where Thunderbolt Ross is the president and basically nuked.
Did you get the little is it Wildstorm? That there's a little Easter egg where they bring in some characters. In the first or second issue, he just kills a bunch of characters and he goes through them.
Yeah, because they're like they're showing every level of him escalating his power. And really so these guardians of the dimensions show up, and they're like these, they look like the Authority in some way, and that's
what it was, the Authority. That's the Authority.
Yeah, like stop, halt! You can't travel this way. You're just an Earthling. You're just immortal, and he just rips through them and does the rest of the comic covered in their blood.
Oh my God! Wow.
All right, let's kick it back to Kyle. Let's not hijack his.
I don't know why, but I caught the most recent issue of Amazing Spider-Man. I'm just gonna say, bleh. I am not enjoying what they're doing with this. It is so horrible.
Yeah,
I couldn't get past that first issue. It was awful.
I tried.
It's not worth it. Read Black Adam. I put number 2 by accident, but Black Adam number 1, which is basically it starts off with Black Adam and his normal version of Teth Adam in the in the United Nations, and they're trying to talk about his world, and it kind of goes to this problem's happening. And he becomes Black Adam, and he basically you come to find out that Black Adam's dying, and needs to find the next his successor.
Yeah.
So. And the art's pretty cool, and I forget who did the art, but it's actually pretty.
Yeah, that's a book I mentioned earlier that Christopher Priest is writing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dark Crisis: Young Justice #1, which was a lot of fun because it's dealing with the Justice League have dying, and you've got Impulse, Robin, and Superboy helping their other characters build statues for them in front of the Hall of Justice, and then you find out later that Wonder Girl is trying to look for everybody, but basically Connor, Tim, and Bart have all disappeared, and they've been thrown back into the 90s, back to when they first started in the very first two-parter of Young Justice, and trying to what's going on. They're basically caught out of time, and Wonder Girl's trying to go talk to everybody else, from Jonathan, Wally, Nightwing, and it says they're all probably dealing with something, probably trying to figure out how to deal with this. He's like, fine, if nobody's really going to help me, I'll do it myself. And so it's basically kind of looking back at the original formation of Young Justice. So it's kind of interesting to see where they're going. Apparently, they're going to be originally will be fighting the Justice League too, is what they've said in one of the future issues. So, I mean, it's just fun to see Young Justice being played with again. Yeah. Let's see, Nightwing #3, dealing with basically Nightwing.
Blockbuster.
Yeah, Blockbuster. Yeah. And the other guy, the guy who's stealing all the hearts.
Heartless.
Heartless. You find out more about him. It's sort of like, looks like he might be more like a cyborg, but then also Nightwing has a little, like he talks about, like he has a little bit more like upgraded material. Like he has a motorcycle. The cops are chasing him, but he's trying to clean off graffiti, and he jumps on a motorbike, and he's driving in the Nightwing cycle, and he has a grappling hook and shoots it on a building, and it takes him up so the cops can't get him.
And he's wearing the coolest little Nightwing jacket you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, really fun.
Yeah.
Really fun.
And then after that, with Flash #293, this is basically Barry grabbing Max Mercury, Jesse Quick, and a couple others to try to find out where Barry is. And so, and you find everything's they're opening a portal to try to find out where in the multiverse he might be. Except Iris shows up to talk to Wally because she now has powers. But then the twins show up and are saying, "Hey, we've got powers, and hey, we can help out too." So what do? They jump in one of the portals, and they're like, "Oh crap, we got to go after them." So it's just like this whole chain reaction where they each go into a different multiverse, and they find a Barry, but it's not the Barry they're looking for. It's the Barry of that universe. So it's just see where they go with that one. And then
we'll come back to the manga stuff if you want.
Yeah. Okay. But after that, it was gonna be I was gonna say I've been also finished off Kenobi. I don't know if we're talking about that today or not.
Yeah,
we have
into it.
Well, we'll see. Okay. All right. Let me talk
Josh
about some stuff. If not, we'll maybe give Josh another week to catch up on some stuff.
It's all right. If you guys want to discuss it, go ahead.
Listen,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's going to be the 1 week where you're not here. Maybe we'll just do a Kenobi show then.
That's true.
All right. I'll go through some of the movie stuff that I've seen. First of all, I watched Black Phone yesterday. That's the new Scott Derrickson movie. Oh my God. It's fucking great.
Yeah.
So if you don't know the premise, Ethan Hawke is like this dude that kidnaps children. The latest kid, they keep him in a basement, and there's a phone that doesn't work, but for some reason it's ringing and it's helping out this kid maybe escape. So really fun stuff. I love Scott Derrickson as a horror director, and Ethan Hawke's been great. I mean, if you enjoyed him in Moon Knight, I think you'll enjoy him in this, because he's even way scarier here because he can go a little crazy, and it really feels like it almost feels like it lives in the world of like something that Stephen King might have created, like it almost feels like that same setting where like it's a small town and it's a very small community, and this horrible thing is happening, and people can't really get their minds around it. Really interesting. So yeah, if you get a chance to watch it either in the theater or later on. I also watched The Mist from 2007. The Jane, what's his name? Thomas Jane. Stephen King, Frank Darabont. I didn't know that he had directed that movie.
Yeah.
It started off really slow, and I was like, "This is not very good." But then, like 30 minutes in, I was like, "Oh, shit!" Shit started to click. Because I've always seen this movie in videos of like the grimmest endings in a movie, or like weird alternate endings in the movie. So I already kind of knew the ending. Like I'm talking about just the last scene. But I didn't know like what's in the mist and and why it's happening, why are all those things happening, and it's fun. So many people from The Walking Dead are in this movie. It's
Yeah.
crazy. And then Thomas Jane is in it. What's his name? Sam Worthington. He voices Darth Maul now, and now he's also in some Star Wars stuff as far as like the game. So yeah, it was really interesting. Super heavy and sad, and especially with everything. Like I watched it because I wanted to like distract myself a little bit, but then this movie just kind of hits on everything that's going
No,
on
yeah,
right
this
now.
is not
So
a good comfort
it's
movie.
not.
This is
I
this
would
is
not
a
include it
group
in our
of
main
small
topic.
town people
Yeah,
trapped
yeah.
in a grocery store
Yeah.
who go real super religious or crazy or just want to fight.
It was fun to see Andrew Bauer in something else other than Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
So I also watch Spiderhead does the new movie on Netflix with Thor and Miles Teller.
How is that?
It's a really fun premise. I like the premise of I don't know that the movie stick the landing.
Okay.
But I think it's only like 90 minutes long, which makes it bearable. Like I think it's fine. But I really like the performances. I think Chris Hemsworth's great. Junie Smollett is also in it, and Miles Teller. Like it's them three really throughout the whole movie. There's a few other characters. But the movie that you guys need to watch at some point, and this is, I tweeted out that this would be my favorite movie of the year if the Batman hadn't come out this year.
Oh shit!
Wow.
Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yes, I need to see it.
I haven't
Where's
watched
it
it
streaming?
yet.
I want to.
It's
Which
gorgeous. It's now out on VOD, so you can check it out. I think the Blu-ray comes out like maybe in the next few weeks, but
Which movie?
it's so good.
Everything all
It's
at
just really
once.
good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, I'm not even gonna go into it. Just know that it's a 5-star movie for me. So
Excellent. All right, man.
and you guys
All right,
know how
cool.
critical I am with my media.
Yes.
You are by far the fiercest critic.
It's like
so
me
you
and
only-
Roger Ebert.
yes, you only watch 4.5 to 5-star stuff. Let me tell you.
Right, that's right. Real quick, I'll touch on two things. If you still have Paramount Plus for some reason, and you're a fan of and you hold on, there's a lot of requirements for this. If you have Paramount Plus, if you enjoy The Godfather, and if you enjoy the stories about movie making,
Okay.
watch the series The Offer. Oh, I guess
That's
also
right.
if you're a fan of Miles Teller, I guess that's another qualification.
Why don't you call him by his Marvel Universe name?
Who, Miles Teller? Oh,
Yeah,
Mr. Fantastic.
Mr. Not So Fantastic.
I was about to be like, don't make me angry.
His name is a friend of the
I finally
naked
got to
thing.
see it.
Fan Four
You
Stick.
did?
Well, no. Sorry, I think you were talking about the other one for because I finally got to watch Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah.
I
I thought you watched that horrible Fantastic Four, and then I would hope got severely drunk.
I actually saw that in the theater.
Kyle's like,
Oh,
all
you
right.
poor bastard! Did you get your money back?
Well, no. Okay, so luckily I had. Okay, so this is back a couple summers ago when I was working for SMU Plano, and I decided every Friday when I got off, I'd go watch movies. So I go hit the AMC and Addison. Start off with first Jurassic World. Thought it was good. Saw Star Trek Beyond, which I loved. And then I ended up watching this. Luckily, I went to a brewery and grabbed a couple of beers beforehand, because I would end up falling asleep throughout the film. So
that is the perfect scenario to watch that movie.
yeah, I was
God.
just curious. Like, I wonder how bad this thing is going to be. And then I was like, what a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I watch Roger Corman now?
Leonard came in
Yeah.
the chat. Yeah, hot take. Everything Everywhere All at Once it's a better emotional and relatable movie than Multiverse of Madness. 100%. 100%.
Interesting. All right. Because
I mean, I
Cool.
like Multiverse of Madness a lot, but it definitely doesn't touch on a lot of the themes that this other movie. Like this movie also has that emotional depth to it, and really fun fight sequences. Yeah, it's great. I could go on about it all day, and I did do a review if anybody really wants to like go see my full thoughts on it. The last thing, yeah. So watch The Offer. It's about how Art Ruddy, the producer behind The Godfather, made the movie happen along with everyone else, right? It's really, the only thing I'll say is the first 2 episodes it's a little interesting because you know what all these actors look like and what, like, You know what a young Al Pacino looked like, and a young, well, not young, but what's his name? What's the name of the Godfather?
Brando.
Brando, yeah, Marlon Brando. Like, you know what all these people look like. So they're casting not so much based on looks; they're casting probably based on talent. And the people that do these people, like I think they're very talented and they do a good job. But it's hard to capture Brando, right? It's hard to capture.
Everyone
Pacino.
has a Brando.
Well, yeah, but it's
impression.
not. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't. In the offer, it kind of feels like he's just doing his own Brando, of like, well, I don't care about that. I want to see. So,
But I can see it being hard to do Brando not in the Godfather character. Like you're doing Brando the person,
exactly,
right? That's got to be a little harder. So
yeah, I will say the actor they cast to play Mario Puzo, after I finally Googled him afterwards, spot on, like really good. And Dan Fogel as not Scorsese,
Coppola.
Yeah, I think he's really, really good. And then also the guy that plays the head of Paramount at the time, Bob Evans, fantastic. But the standout is June. She's also in Ted Lasso. She's
Juno.
Yeah. She's great. And
Juno
of course,
Temple.
Yeah, Juno Temple, who is really fun to like hear her not talk with an English accent.
Yeah.
So yeah, see, Leonard Kim says the same thing. Took me about 3 episodes to really get into it. But once you're in, once you kind of get past that hump of like, these are real people, like it doesn't feel like a drama. Like it almost feels like when Lifetime recreates like actual events at first, and then once you get past that, really fun. And of course, the movie came out, but like I didn't realize how many things actually could go wrong and went wrong in the production of the movie. So really fun. And then the last thing I'll say before I throw it back to Clay, and we'll try to speed up a little bit. I started watching Hannibal, the TV series, and I stopped watching it in the first place because at the time it was like, it's really intense. Like I'm talking about even just the kind of violence and the visuals in the show, like they are very intense. I still can't believe that show was a network show.
Right.
It still has a hardcore fan base to this day that wants it to come back.
So I'll probably be checking that out a little bit more. So I did watch the first 2 episodes, and they're great. I mean, Matt Mikkelsen, fuck, he's amazing.
Yeah.
So, all right, Clay, I'll throw it to you, and then like I said, let's speed up a little bit. We'll go back around once more to talk about whatever else on our list, and then we'll move on to our main topic.
I only have a couple things. I talked about Hulk. I can't sell y'all any more on that book than it's just so goddamn fun and awesome. This week, Mystery Science Theater Demon Squad. Oh, there's the cover. The Return of Joel. Joel Robinson. Yeah. And of course, this was the week they had the most technical problems. So their stream didn't start for like 30 minutes. They were emailing with a backup stream. And I kind of hate that, but you see that they're doing this on their own with just Kickstarter money, so it was more fun hearing him riff with everyone, because they even had oh my gosh, who was with Dr. Forrester before TV's Frank?
Oh God, Josh somebody, right?
Yeah, he returned to voice Crow in this episode.
Wow, really? That's awesome.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and it was a really bad movie. And then I'm doing one of my favorite movies, Halloween 3, with Mark for Unsocial Spectators. So if you subscribe to my other podcast, you'll hear me talk about my deep love for the often hated Halloween 3. That's all I got.
Oh, okay. I'll try and go through mine pretty quick. Last week, not this week, I read Guilt #3. Seriously, I cannot recommend this book enough. It is so much fucking fun. Like, just fun. The art is great. The writing is great. The motives of the characters are great. Like, just, there is nothing. I have no qualms about this book. It's just so good. So please go read Guilt. Guilt stands for the Guild of Independent Lady Temporalists.
Who writes it?
It is. That's a good question. It is. Jesus. Written by Alyssa Whitney, and then the artist is Morissette.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were almost going to say Morrissey, and I was going to say he's doing comics now.
Yeah, everything else has gone sideways for him. Alice Ever After, it's fine. It's this is going to sound so bad. I don't mean it this way, but it's the comic book version of eating fast food. It's fine. It fills the need at the time. It's not brilliant. It's, but it's fun. It's good.
Okay.
Luscious, so I will put this into a better frame. It's like when the McRib comes back, right?
Ooh.
So your expectations are high. You go, you have lots of good feelings, but afterwards you're just like, it was all right.
Yeah.
So
That describes the McRib exactly.
Which I will point out, I've never eaten. I base this entirely on social phenomena.
Neither have I.
Yeah. I am still enjoying how utterly creepy this goddamn Nightmare Country book is. I had to buy the alt cover because I could not stand the standard cover.
Oh, wow.
If you saw it, Tinian and his artists on this love playing with the whole mouth is eyes thing.
Yeah.
And it just creeps me out. And so I can handle this. The standard cover is the eye actually chewing on rare meat. And I'm like, nope, not getting that one. I need the other one. So, but this book just makes me more and more excited for the upcoming Sandman series because I just forget how much I love this world. So anyway, highly recommend. A few more real quick.
I want to track down that chewing cover now.
There it is. Oh,
yes.
God. So freaking creepy. Look at it. Oh, I can't do it. All right.
What would you choose to eat through your eye?
Not meat.
A McRib.
Soup. A McRib. There you go. It's the perfect consistency, right? So I've heard.
Chicken nuggies.
So I picked up another Ahoy Comics book, Justice Warriors. Did anyone else read this?
No, but I wanted to.
I didn't realize who the writer was of this, but it's Matt Bors, who is a political cartoonist. I know him from the Nib. I started reading it, I'm like, oh wow, and then I went back and I'm like, oh, Matt Bors co-wrote this. This is such a great commentary on current America, seen through the lens of just what is clearly not America, and also really sly references to where the name comes from, to the Justice League. So it's this police force fighting people who have had starfish attached to their faces. Which makes them violent, but the police are just basically murdering all these people. And when they get that off, like, wait, who am I? I didn't know I was doing. It's like, too bad, blam,
Oh.
Someone is stealing baby formula in this panel. I mean, it is a raucous and really, really, which again, that's why I went back to see who wrote it, because when you think of the work Matt Bors does, this fits right in. And there's even a really wonderful, the subplot is basically all about NFTs and pyramid schemes. It's great. So if you want just a vicious takedown of current American culture, go read Justice Warriors. And then two more real quick. I read the Lonesome Hunters issue 1. Didn't really have a lot of expectations for it, but yeah, it was good. It was really good. I have one quibble with it, which is the way they so it's a horror comic where basically the old guy here with the big black sword, you find out as a young child was given the sword to do something specific. Yeah. And things go sideways. He doesn't do it. And then it jumps ahead like 100 years. And he's an old man with the sword living in this apartment building, and he meets this young girl. Daniel, so I got the impression when they introduced her that they knew each other And like when they meet each other in the entryway to the apartment building, it seems like they know each other, but then later on, it seems like they don't know each other. I was really confused about their relationship.
I think it's like they know each other, kind of like people in your building.
Gotcha.
But not like the comfort level, like, oh yeah, we're friends,
We're friends.
or like that one neighbor you always go to see or whatever. Like I think they just know each other from the building. Like you look familiar. I think you live here. I hope you live here since you're coming into my building. But yeah, that's what I got out of it.
And it's all by Tyler Crook. It's beautifully painted. I mean, it's just wonderful art. And Clay, you know this artist?
Who is it?
Tyler Crook. Go to his website because I went to his site after I read this guy. I really liked his art. Go to his site and look at just the spattering of comic art he has on there because he has some Man Thing covers that he did that you would love.
What's his last name?
Scroll down here. Tyler Crook. Crook.
Oh, it's from Stranger Things, I think.
That's Stranger Things. Now go down, you'll see there's one on the left and one on the right. And I was like, I got to show these to Clay. He would love these.
Yeah, he does a lot of like painterly type of things.
These look like the cover for the run that I hated.
Could be.
The R.L. Stein? Is this from the R.L. Stein?
I think they're the R.L. Stein covers.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, because they're fantastic. And they're done solo without a story. That's all they need. That is really
the Grateful Dead. Dave's Picks number 32. Eh?
Whoa.
Hey.
So
the cover work is great, so don't worry about it.
Okay. So 2 more real quick, and then I will shut up. Issue 2 of I Hate This Place came out. I'm in love. This book is fucking great. And there is a moment in this book, and it's only issue 2, that I'm reading it, and I'm like, this had better become a prestige streaming series. Because the scene in the book is done so well that I could see it in my head as a scene in like a TV show.
Wow.
And that doesn't do a disservice to either the comic version or what it could possibly be in another medium. It's just solid storytelling.
Yeah.
And so if you're not reading this, the couple here inherit a ranch. And their first night in the ranch, they discover the ranch is haunted. But the ranch is haunted, and like they basically discover an underground bunker and videos that tell them every night when the sun goes down, you've got to come in here to stay safe.
Oh.
And issue 2, like it doesn't stop. Like issue 2, I expected to pick up right where issue 1 ended. It doesn't. It's like a day later, and the 2 main characters are going to track down like someone who can basically help them with this. They track down a psychic, and then stuff's going on at the ranch. I mean, it is like, it's not a breathless pace because there's a lot of like thoughtfulness and stuff, but such a good book. So good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I Hate This Place. It's really great.
And then finally, this guy's art.
The book is called Fuck This Place, Josh, please.
I know. So all the alt covers have, there's no different art. It just says "Fuck This Place" on it.
Yeah, that's what the book is really called.
And what's weird is I always want to get those, and then I don't, and then I realize I can't because I'm so OCD that when I put these in the box, I need them to have the same title, so I know how to alphabetize them. So,
that's why out from issue 1, I got the uncensored.
That's smart. You're a smarter man than I am, but we always knew that. So it's written by Kyle Starks, and the art is by I'm going to mispronounce this. I'm so sorry. Artyom Topolin. And it's fantastic. Yeah, it's really good. And then finally, I just want to make a quick shout out. I bought that Humble Bundle Pride bundle.
Oh yeah,
2 ago.
Me too.
Okay.
To it.
So there are 3 Jaime Hernandez Love and Rocket books in there, and they're all from like the most recent run after it came back. I had read 2 of them, but the third one, which is like the most recent, is called "Is This How You See Me?" And I hadn't read it, and I sat down. I read it in one sitting. I was nearly in tears. This book is it's so hard to recommend if you haven't read Love and Rockets, because it's a book that basically is for the fans of this storyline in Love and Rockets. So the basic plot is the two main characters, Maggie and Hopi, had just kind of made amends after some events that had happened to Maggie 2 books ago. And she, they decide they are going to go back to the hometown where the whole series begins, their hometown of Hoppers, because they are having a punk reunion, a 30-year punk reunion.
Wow.
And the whole origin of the comic is they're punk kids. They go back. This whole comic is about, it's this beautiful, beautiful story about memories and reliving your past, and but also aging and growing older and moving on. It just, if you're like my age and you read this book, it just, my review is all the feels. Like, you walk away from this book just feeling, and it's not sad. There's no, it's not a book about longing. It's a book about how that can be beautiful. I don't know. I don't have the words to describe the impact this book had on me, but it just, and it's tough because I want to tell everyone, go read this book. But I feel like if you read it and you haven't read, all of the Love and Rockets volumes I have behind me, it's not going to hit you as impactfully, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Worst case scenario, you get Jaime Hernandez art.
Yeah.
Oh God, I know. It's so good. That dude has never had a bad comics page in his career, and I say that with like a profound sense of, I know so many other artists like George Perez and others who are great, but Jaime Hernandez always knocks it out of the fucking park, and he does throughout this book too. It is so good. So if you just want like a wistful read, even if you don't know all the 30-year history of Hopi and Maggie, just go read the book, because it's great. It's really good.
Now I feel like I need to refresh my Love and Rockets knowledge. I don't think it goes very deep at all.
I can send you all the PDFs if you want them. So, all right, I'll do that. It's amazing. It's good stuff.
I want that issue to hit the same way. I don't know if I can read 30 years of Love and Rockets, but
well, you only need to read Jaime's stuff, which is no disservice to Gilbert, but this is really about Jaime's storyline. And I mean, honestly, you could read the first 3 volumes and then kind of go read this. You don't need to read every interstitial thing in between, and you'll get that same impact. So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm done.
Kyle, let's talk about manga.
Okay, let's see. Crap. Give me 1 second. I closed the wrong. Come on, open up. Okay, so I've been reading the manga. Basically, caught up with Kaiju number 8, second volume, which was again doesn't veer off from what the first one does.
Amazing.
So basically, he kind of keeps his identity hidden for a little bit until the girl that he grew up with, basically they're about to try to stop a kaiju, and he ends up having to force his identity out and to prove that, hey, and basically show that he is partial kaiju. They sort of arrest him even though he didn't attack him, and then basically send him to the main headquarters, where after let's see how far, if he's real kaiju or if he actually has a conscience. The main general or admiral, the chief basically fights him and basically realizes, okay, we can use him. He stopped himself from hurting me when he was really angry, and so we're going to use him as our first line of defense. But they put him with their first band of military, and so basically you have to work with him. And so they end up realizing there's a kaiju number 9 who basically you don't know if he's been human before, but he basically can talk, intelligently, can take the form. And his whole thing is he wants to stop kaiju number 8 and absorb his power, but they have issues, and so they keep thinking that they destroy him, and he keeps using his power to infect other people, and it just leads you at this one point where basically he infects the chief, and now they're like, what are we supposed to do? Because now he's even more powerful. So it's just like, again, the one thing about the manga is you can read the chapters, you can read the collected issues, but then once they get to the point, you got to wait a whole fucking month or so for the next one to come out.
Yeah, it releases like 3 weeks out of the 4. I think it releases, or 2 weeks out of the 4 of the month.
Yeah,
So
that one was really good. I went back and finished up Dragon Quest: The Adventures of Dai. They only have the first 2 volumes out, but I read through everything, and it's still a lot of fun. It basically just Dai. You end up realizing that they're working with the kingdom, and they bring in Croc, who's like one of the first. He's like the first general of one of the armies of the evil. He ends up stopping him, and you think he ends up dying, but I know from having read the Japanese version many years ago, working at Planet Anime, he comes back and becomes, especially if you watch the anime on Hulu, which you can watch dubbed or translated or subtitle on there. He becomes one of their friends. Another one I've been reading is, let me see, Ruri Dragon. This one is, what was the Image comic where the teenager becomes a dragon? You realize his dad is like a giant dragon. It came out around the same time as Invincible.
It wasn't Fire Breather, was it?
Might have been Fire, but they did an actual hour movie for him on Cartoon Network also.
Yeah, it was Fire Breather.
Yeah. But there's this one girl wakes up and she has horns, and of course, she goes to tell her mother, and mom's like, what happens? Like, I woke up with those. Like, are those fake? Nope. So she goes to school, and of course, only in Japan are you in a world where basically, oh, you have horns now? Oh, cool. Nobody's like, oh, you have horns. The teachers, everybody just like, okay, well, that's a new deformity. It's fine. And you come to find out later that her mom picks her up because she ends up getting a cold and ends up breathing fire, and actually burning a kid slightly. So she goes, yeah, I just wanted. I should have told you, but your dad's a dragon. Like, how'd you not tell me this? Well, I thought I might bypass you. Well, I know. Can you tell me anything about? Nah, just don't worry about it. Like, let's see if you grow anything else. And it's just like, oh my god. So it's just like her having to go in, and her classmates dealing with, oh my god, you're like the new like TikTok star because you have all like these dragon features, and it's just like, oh god. And so you just wait to see what she's going to develop next.
But this is also a movie and a novel by Joe Hill called Horns. Have you heard this?
Oh, that's what Horns is.
I was going to say, because I know that there's an American story that's very similar of a guy who begins to grow horns, and Daniel Radcliffe plays him in the movie.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I don't know if this has anything to do with that, but it's an interesting read.
Okay, yeah, it just had the same premise, but obviously in Japan they have different reactions to horns than we do.
Sakamoto Days. This one is basically, I read the first thing. Basically deals with a hitman who is basically the greatest hitman in Japan. Ends up running. He's being shot at. Ends up running into a convenience store. Meets a girl, and of course the whole thing. Meets girl. Decides to give up his life. End up having a kid. Ends up getting out of shape. So he's all out of shape. And so basically, yeah, right there. So the kid on the right is from the organization he was a part of. Is trying to get him to come back. But you realizing anything's like, oh, he's out of shape. If he's not going to come back, maybe we'll just have to take him out. But realizing, even though he's out of shape, he has not lost one step at all. He's still one of the greatest hitmen alive. And so he basically tells him, no, I'm not coming back. The kid goes back, tells the organization, well, you failed. We're going to kill you. He pulled out a gun. You realize that the gun he stole from the hitman, has a microphone in it. So the hitman goes, saves his life, does everything like martial arts, knife fighting, kills everybody there. And then so the kid's like, oh my god, this is Sakamoto. I got to learn from him. So it's like from this day on, I'm going to be your assistant in the store. And so and apparently the kid has ESP, but yeah, it's a fun little read because it's like humor, but like hitmen taking out each other, organizations, and it's just him just sitting there and he like apparently he's getting out of shape because he keeps eating cupped ramen, and the kid's like, can you please not eat that next to me? And it's just a fun little read. So I'm gonna try that one too and see where that one goes.
These are all on the Shonen Jump app.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And apparently the Sakamoto Days, I think. Let me see. I got the app right here. Ruri Dragon is brand new, so they're only in chapter 3. But Sakamoto Days is up to, if I'm not mistaken, chapter 76. So there's a lot to go through on that one. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to reading that one.
Yeah. Really good.
Yeah. Okay. So two other things. TMNT Shredder's Revenge. That's the new Turtles game that's come out. Played it last Sunday. Beat it. Of course, I was over at a friend's place, and so I was playing Michelangelo. He's playing Leonardo, and the thing is a homage to 80s kids. You know, outside of Uncle Phil, they bring back almost every original voice actor, at least to voice the Turtles.
dude.
And and they make reference to TMNT too, but and I'm not going to say how, but you do get Super Shredder, hence Kevin Nash, and Toka and Razor in the game, so it's fucking amazing.
Damn.
And
I need to play that.
No,
sorry.
it's on every system. I think it's on Steam. It's on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. You name it. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to get it. And a movie I watched a couple weeks back. I'm not sure how to think of this, but I don't know if everybody saw it. But it's called We Need to Talk. And the reason I found this one, this one stars Emily Beckett Rickards, who played Felicity on Arrow. So it basically deals with basically a dude who's a gaming streamer who basically is that's how he makes his life. He's become a famous streamer, and he's supposed to be reviewing games, but apparently it comes down to where he's been living with his girlfriend. Yeah, there we go. The one down here, and the girl with the yellow sweater on the very bottom there is his girlfriend, and basically she's going to work, and all he does is just play games all day, but it's still he gets so much funny on the streaming. And has an editor. The black dude on the right on the bottom there is his editor. So he comes in and does they make videos and stuff. And she goes, "We need to talk." And so she goes to work, and the guy, his editor, basically goes, "If it means we need to talk, it means she's going to break up with you." And so it's the whole day of him trying to figure out how to deal with am I going to be broken up with, or what's going on with my life, because there's a game he's supposed to be reviewing. It's like on number 9, version 9, and he hasn't reviewed it yet. And so it's him trying to get his life together. So it's interesting. I saw it. It was on Tubi TV for free for a while, but I checked it again. Apparently, it's off there now. So I think it's like Amazon Prime or iTunes, so you can watch it there. But it was just an interesting watch. I mean, just a fun in the background kind of, I guess, romance movie that it was fun, but I think they tried too hard in parts when trying to get to overkill when it came to the romance stuff.
Just based on the look of that poster, that's gonna be enough from me. Cool. All right. Real quick before we go.
Hold on. I do want to throw out one last thing. I did go to Titan a couple weeks ago. Picked up a few things. I was trying to I've been wanting to pick up certain old issues that were sort of like oddities for me. Picked up Classic X-Men number 16. This is the reason I picked this up because this was my very first X-Men comic book ever in '87. I was trying to pick up also. This was my very first X-Men. And then I picked up right around a few weeks later. I picked up Uncanny X-Men number 225, which was the first issue for the Fall of the Mutants. And then I realized, I'm reading both these. I'm like going, okay, why is this one have one team? Why does this one have another? Not understanding what Classic X-Men was, and to understand it.
Marvel's always been reprinting.
Always reprinting.
That's true. A couple of Star Comics ended up picking the Muppets Take Manhattan issues 1 through 3.
Oh wow!
I decided to say fuck it. I went with it.
Is it the adaptation of the movie?
Yeah. It's an adaptation, just the movie.
Very cool.
And then I picked up this, not realizing they'd been doing it, but Robotech Archives. They've been collecting Robotech Sentinels book.
Huh.
That way you can get a workout in while you read.
Yeah.
And I think it's got books 2 and 3 in this one compilation, but it's just. Let me see. The art is done by. Writers were Tom Manson and Chris Ulm. Artists John Waltrip and Jason and John Waltrip, who were brothers. This was actually a subsidiary of Malibu. It was done by. It was actually originally done by Malibu, and then eventually they broke off into another company called Eternity, until they lost funding. So I know they got to book 4. I never got book 5 done. So, but I was just I wanted to pick that one up.
All right, I'm gonna run through my comics real quick too, and then we can jump into the main topic. I did read Lois Lane, Enemy of the State. That's the Greg Rucka book. It's like a 12-issue series. I really enjoyed it. So make sure to go check that out maybe. But I know you guys keep saying comics aren't good. But go to the store
Kyle.
and give me a lot of them.
No.
That's Kyle.
Just because you pick up 25 issues does not mean they're all good. Especially when 1/3 of them are going to be variant covers.
Well, you're not
He's
wrong.
looking for quality. He's looking for quality in the quantity.
You're not wrong. So this is Immortal X-Men number 3.
Oh, that's a great cover.
So good. This is all about destiny and everything leading up to Judgment Day. I'm really excited. So Karen Gillan's really killing it.
We're still not in the world of quality. Okay, keep going.
Punisher War Journal Blitz number 1. I really enjoy this book. It's like a story in between the main Punisher series. We're gonna get a series of one-shots. New Mutants number 26. This continues the story that's going on with Ileana losing the Soul Sword. New Mutants is my favorite X-Men book. So if you're gonna pick one up, pick that one up.
No.
Then also from last week, do a Powerbomb #1, the new Daniel
How is
Warren
that?
book. It's great. I love it. If you like comics, if you like wrestling, if you like Daniel Warren
Okay.
Johnson, you want to.
I like two of those things.
Okay, one comic it might be worth quality.
So and then the Lonesome Hunters that Josh already talked about, Aquaman and the Flash Void Song. This is also written by the same writers doing the Captain America that Josh talked about earlier.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So aliens come into the world and they steal everyone's voice, except for the Flash, who was in the Speed Force at the time, and Aquaman, who was deep in the trenches of the water. So like whatever technology they use can't. So
That's
now
a weird
is it-
team
wait.
up.
Is it Barry or Wally?
Yeah. So I tweeted at the writers and I asked, like, why did you guys choose them to work together? And they told me that everything becomes clear later on in issue 4 or
But
issue 3.
Is it Barry or Wally?
It's Barry. Barry. Yeah. Because Barry's the main Flash in the. Well, actually, yeah, because this is before they die.
Well, no, he didn't die. Oh, no, I
Well,
guess
the Justice League is currently dead.
Yeah.
So Wally is the main Flash at the moment.
Well, he was the main Flash because Barry was with the other Justice League in the multiverse trying to map out everything. That's why Wally's been taken over.
Hold on, I'm trying to save some of these for the. Okay, all right. So X-Men #12 wraps up everything right before. This is also leading to the Hellfire Gala. If you read, I would say this is the closest book to like classic X-Men stuff. Gary Duggan's doing some really fun stuff. Pepe Larraz is like probably the best X-Men artist. Let's see, and now we get to the variants because that's really it for comics. This is my X-Men variant cover, which is Daken. I just really like this one.
Yeah, it is cool.
And then the Hellfire Gala variants, we have Rogue. This is on the Knights of X book. We have Scarlet Witch on the Moon Knight book. Really weird where they put these.
Yeah, that is odd.
We have the Black Widow on the Miles Morales Spider-Man book. And then we have Cyclops on the X-Men book. That one makes sense.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I want to show. So I'm going to do a whole video where I talk about all the stuff I got at the Fan Expo. But I did want to plug or show you guys this commission that I got.
Ooh, nice. That's beautiful.
It was made by Isaac Goodart. Isaac's been doing some stuff for the DC young adult novels, like Under the Moon, like that Catwoman book and stuff like that. And then he also told me that he's moving to Dallas soon. So like we talked about.
Oh, cool.
That.
Cool.
Nice.
So maybe
He lives up to his name.
Maybe, huh?
He lives up to his name.
Yeah.
I just broke Daniel.
Yeah.
with my horrible dad joke.
Why you were doing that? And I hate it. Yeah, that's all. So yeah, stay tuned to the channel. We'll have a video on that. I hadn't got a good chance to use that one in a minute. So, all right, let's move on to our main topic. Let me put you guys back in the right order. Okay, yeah, we're gonna move on to our main topic for today. Like I said, we're chatting in the Discord, and there's a lot of stuff going on with the world. And Clay posted this picture of an old TV guide. I guess it had a lot of
1976.
Yeah. Now, for those that don't know, a TV guide is like
Yeah.
Oh God, I'm so old.
They're still around.
Just kidding. You don't know what a TV guide is. Google it.
It's the thing that comes up on your screen when you're trying to watch local stations.
Kids don't have cables these days.
Do they have antennas?
There's no reason. There's no reason for a TV guide anymore because on Netflix.
But imagine
you want.
Someone who just watches TV streaming. They can watch it whenever they want to. Going. So every Monday at 7, this show would come on, and you wouldn't get a rerun.
No,
maybe a few years. So you would
a
have
TV
to
guide
watch
is like an advanced copy of your YouTube playlist that you're running.
That's awesome.
Imagine if all the TikToks you were about to watch in the next hour were arranged for you, and you knew which ones were coming up.
Oh God! Oh my God! Oh, No, actually, I think the best comparison would be the TV guide is your upcoming promotion for all the live streams you want to watch at the time.
Yeah.
That won't be recorded, right?
I do want to. Leonard Kim says, "Oh snap! There's a main topic to the stream." Well, damn. Yeah, it's not. I know
It's
it feels like a lot
tangents.
of us just rambling nonsense without any specific, focus. But we do plan the show in advance a little bit, even if it's 5 minutes before we start. But yeah, let's go around, Clay. Since this was kind of your idea, and then we'll go a little bit around. Maybe try to talk about a couple of things at a time till we. So prioritize your things, because if we run out of time, then we're not gonna get to hear it.
Okay, yeah. Easily for music, if I listen to a lot of lo-fi hip hop, and if you've listened to that on YouTube, you know the Lo-Fi Girl. I mean, it's just very chill music I put on in the background. It's just, I don't know. Like, I always feel like I need to be consuming media. Like, I always want to have music or have a TV show on or something. And so that's just good music I can have that just kind of is peaceful. And if I'm watching something, it's going to be like Joe Pera. Like, his episodes are 11 minutes. They're peaceful. They're all on HBO Max, but there's a couple that are available on YouTube. Joe Pera Talks You to Sleep is one of them, which is a real good one. And if you have HBO Max, also Apple and Onion, because the cartoons are really short and they're just weird as hell. Like, I just love weird, and they just dive in head first.
I meant to tell you, sorry, go
No, go ahead.
Well, I walked out the other night, and my wife was just, the rare occasion she's just like chilling on the couch, wanting to watch something. She had this thing on, and I turned and I'm like, "What are you watching?" She's like, "I don't know. I think it's a documentary," and it was Joe Pera Talks to You About Breakfast, and
yeah.
And she just like stumbled on it, and then we're watching. I'm like, this is so weird. It's like and so I had to look at it like, oh, it's Adult Swim. Okay, this makes more sense. It's just weird ass shit. That's all that is. So
yeah. Joe Pera is great because he is like a low key dude who just lives in Michigan, and like the first episode, he's talking to you about rocks that are in the area, and then it just goes off the rails. Like, it's like our show. It starts with an idea, and then it just goes off the rails.
Right.
Like, he has a whole episode where he goes to get breakfast, and he meets with people that he knows to see what they got for breakfast and why, who they're at breakfast with and why. Like, his best friend has a breakfast crew, and they all bring something to the table. It's just
that's the one she was watching. And then there's like a family arguing or something, right?
Yeah, that's his new neighbors who in the first episode interrupt his rock show that he's doing and walk through his house because they incorrectly think his house is for sale with the for sale sign that was out front that was meant for another house. So when he runs into him at the end of the episode to apologize that he's not going to sell his house to him, they go, "Well, we felt it was kind of weird. We're actually your neighbors now. We bought the house across the street."
Nice.
I do want to mention Leonard Kim in the chat. I use Zap2It, which is similar to TV Guide. Very helpful to know what shows have coming up for the week if they're on network shows. I'm gonna try that because I think it's a good way to organize yourself. I think it'd be cool if you could load in like streaming shows too. Like, let's say you know the boys are coming up or whatever, to remind you like these are all the things that are showing up new episodes on Thursday, or like maybe when things end. So I might check that out.
I have a bunch of old TV guides I may pull out, just like collector ones of Star Wars and Star Trek over the years.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because when I was looking for the pictures for the thing, like some of these were on sale for like some of them are shop. Like, people collect these things too.
Oh yeah.
It's not just George Costanza's father who's collecting TV guides. Other people do it as well.
If you look at some of the TV guides from the 70s, they had incredible artists doing the cover art. I mean, it was really weird because you could have an incredible artist doing cover art for an Atari cartridge game and also a TV guide, and it looked amazing, but nothing like the video game.
Yeah, we didn't really get that until the late 80s, and then the 3D polygon generation hit, and then it regressed until like the late 90s, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
and for comic book fans, Alex Ross has done a ton of covers for TV Guide. He did a Smallville series when
Really?
that was on the air. I think I have a few of those. But yeah, there's some other really cool collectible stuff in the run. I mean, I know they did a Next Generation series of photo covers, but actually, I love the artistic ones, the drawn covers of like All in the Family or stuff from the 70s. But that's a lot of my comfort stuff. If y'all want to. Josh, you want to
hit a few things?
Yeah, I'll jump in. So a lot of, and again, I guess this, as I think about it, ties back into that Jaime Hernandez, Is This How You See Me comic. A lot of my comfort stuff is, of course, very regressive. It's stuff I liked back in the 80s and 90s when I was a kid or a teenager or in college.
I like to be throttled. Yeah. I asked my wife to wrap me up as a burrito.
Hey, it does take it from me, having a kid, it does calm kids down, right? So if you get an adult one and just swaddle you up, it's really nice. No,
yeah, they sell those weighted blankets, right? I mean,
yeah, that's basically what it is. So, but no, a lot of my like comfort media comes from that. If I'm in like a really, I'll just start this. If I'm in like a really bad mood and I just need comfort stuff, there are two things I go to: old animated theatrical shorts, specifically Warner Brothers, very specifically Chuck Jones directed. I'll just throw those on, and the Dover Boys is a classic. I'll just watch that and giggle the whole time. The other one is, and this is very weird particular, but I will just put on a playlist of SNL's Jeopardy sketches. Oh. And they never fail to cheer me up. Ever, ever, ever. I just laugh and laugh and laugh the whole time. Even though I've seen them dozens of times, it just cracks me up. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald. Oh, God. But the kind of like the stuff I watch as a kid that I'll just put on in the background, things like old 80s cartoons like Thundar the Barbarian or Super Friends or Plastic Man, like these types of things that I really liked as just a young kid that just kind of bring me that sense of comfort. Real Ghostbusters is one as well. And then a lot of stuff from the 90s that really hit me, I find really comforting, from like the teen years or early college when stuff was, for me at least, very kind of rocky. Things like Freakazoid, which if you've never seen, God, go watch season 1 of Freakazoid. It's so good.
It's great.
Excuse me. Where's my list? The Tick. Yeah, the Tick cartoon. My daughter just texted me to say she just turned on the Real Ghostbusters. And I love it. And then I do too. The Tick animated cartoon is so good and it holds up so well. It's just incredible. And then finally go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I like that now your daughter has information on how to calm you down.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I got some hold on, I got some breaking news for Dad. Let me turn on the Real Ghostbusters. Or
right. Well, and then also, and I know this is on your list too, Clay, so apologies, but MST3K, like every Thanksgiving we do that, MST3K Turkey Day Marathon. It doesn't matter where. I'll put on old episodes I own and just hit play and they run, or I'll go to the YouTube stream or what have you. Always just makes me feel good, Yeah,
and then, it's just good fun. It's never like I'm trying to explain like the humor in it. Like I never saw like mean, vicious humor. It's always kind of silly at times. And the fact that they're watching bad movies is hilarious, and that it's gone on for this long. Like I look at Joel as like, he just started making a show that I think they pitched for 10 episodes as like a cheap fill-in, and has just been doing it ever since then. And it's just amazing that he's gotten the following that he has off of trading VCR tapes.
Right, exactly. And this will sound sad, and I don't really mean it this way, but like when MST3K aired on Comedy Central, it usually came on Friday nights.
Yeah.
And those were usually the nights as a teenager when all my friends were out doing stuff and I was just at home and I would turn on MST3K. It was a great like 2-hour block to just spend some time by myself in my room, you know, drawing or writing or just watching it, what have you, and have it on in the background. It was great. So
That is sad.
It is. I know. I was halfway through it and I was like, shit. But then
I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine. But then the one that's weird is Twin Peaks. Like, it's not a light show, and it's
not.
It had such a profound impact on me when I was, 15, 16, when that first season re-aired in the summer. That's when I saw it. I didn't see it originally in the spring when it aired. It became such a hit. They re-aired it over the summer, and my mom and I watched it, and I just loved it. That I can just put that on, and it just takes me back to that time. If I hear the music, it takes me back to that time. So it's those types of like moment in time things that I really turn to.
Josh's happy place is that red room.
The dancing.
Look, if I don't have a dwarf speaking to me backwards, I'm very, very out of sorts. So
I love that one of the anime I really enjoy, Soul Eater. Like the creator was in love with Twin Peaks, so like he incorporated that red room, but instead of there's like a little demon in that red room instead. It's really, really interesting. So
I need to watch this. Soul Eater.
Soul Eater. Yeah.
Soul Eater. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. So maybe you want to check that out. Just because of I don't know that it pulls a lot of it. I've never seen Twin Peaks.
It's an acquired taste.
Yeah, I think it is. I really think it is. That's probably what's kind of.
It's okay. So all of it's on my Plex, and I would say this: just go watch the first season and see if you like it. It's only 7 episodes. It was a mid-season replacement.
It's only 24 episodes.
No, but if you like it and you go to watch season 2, that's where you're screwed, because season 2 is 24 episodes. It's not great. It's got like little snippets of goodness.
I
but you've got to watch it to get to like season 3. You've got to watch it
I won't watch the movie. Season 3.
Oh, season 3 is so good. It's so good. I loved it so much. But yeah, I've got the whole thing on my Plex. So
cool.
Yeah.
I may one day check it out. We'll see if we do a show on it, and then I'll have to at least check something out.
There you go.
Show on it. I would like to rewatch it.
I
mean, I enjoy it, and I enjoy the music. The music to me is the most peaceful thing.
Not a fan of that show whatsoever. I tried, and I could not get it. Again, I'm not a huge David Lynch fan, so yeah.
See, I do like David Lynch, so maybe I should check it out.
I think you would like it. I mean,
I like his weather reports the most.
Watch. Okay, I say this because it is. If you don't like David Lynch, the benefit of Twin Peaks is you have Mark Frost as well, and they pair off each other nicely. Just give the first episode a try, because it has one of the most, I think, compelling pilot episodes ever, because it pulls you into this mystery in this town. It's incredible.
But it was also a product of its time in the sense that it was taking the tropes of the soap opera, which a lot of soap operas were primetime soap operas during then, because you had Dynasty and Falcon Crest and all that stuff. He was playing with those ideas, but in a David Lynchian way.
Right. So and there's even the like in-world soap opera that plays on all the TVs, So
so fun fact, you guys may already know this, but I mean, this is a new fact to me. David Lynch directed Chris Isaak's Wicked Games, like a short for it. Which, if you know anything about the story of this podcast, during our one and only, I think that was our one and only live panel where we talked about Starman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Chris Isaak came up. So
yes. I forgot about that, man. What con was that we were at?
That was the one where Stan Lee was supposed to,
then it was our second. So
yeah,
I think
that was the one where
we did Hawkeye.
That was New Year's.
Starman was Alcon.
No, Starman was New Year's.
Oh, then Hawkeye was Alcon. Okay, yeah. So we've done 2 live appearances.
Yeah, but that was that was unfortunately the one that just failed miserably.
It'll be a local convention to tell them to get us on stage. You can get this live. This nonsense live.
This nonsense.
Even more tangents.
That's right.
That should be our.
Then we'll be distracted by the audience. If you think these comments are distracting on the stream, just wait till you're there in person.
Exactly.
All right, let's Kyle, you got some comfort? Oh, Kyle, you got some comfort stuff you want to talk about?
Oh yeah. No, I'm just gonna jump on this one for Josh, and I brought it before, but like Friday nights, I did not have Comedy Central, so Friday nights for me was always going back to TGIF. That was for me, from elementary up until high school. I mean, that was, whether it be Perfect Strangers, Full House, Family Matters, Step by Step, Boy Meets World, Sabrina, just the 10 of us, hanging with Mr. Cooper. But it was always TGIF that was my shit. And then I would always jump on either my Nintendo or throw in there we go.
Oh my God. Wow. Does that scream 90s or what? Oh Jesus.
Late 80s into late 90s. There we go. Balky and Larry.
So here's the fun thing. I had to find a photo of what's his name on the left? Mark.
Oh, I forget his actual name.
Yeah, I had to find a photo of him from the show because if you're watching The American Ghosts, he plays one of the 2 old couples that live
Markland Baker
next door. And he walked in the first time, and I was like, God, this guy seems vaguely familiar. Then I saw his name. I'm like, why does that name look familiar? And then I'm like, holy crap, it's the Perfect Strangers guy. Like, I had to look at him. He looks so different. Like, he's completely bald. Like white beard. Oh, great, good stuff.
Oh, cousin Larry.
Yeah, he'd go on for playing a Meatballs, character, and jump onto Step by Step in the last 2 seasons as a French hairstylist.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Pearson Bronson went on to the last 2 seasons of Step by Step, and was basically Suzanne Summers' hairstylist partner.
It's so funny to go back and watch Beverly Hills Cop and see Serge and like his portrayal of Serge and this. And I just don't know if you get away with that today or not. If do you guys remember that character?
I never saw Beverly Hills Cop.
Bronson Pinchot.
A
super effeminate art director.
He's like that's right. That's right.
And they just kind of let him and Eddie riff this whole scene of them talking about getting a drink with a little lemon twist.
Jesus.
I can't believe nobody's seen Beverly Hills Cop here.
No, I have. I have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Other comfort food. Yeah, for me, I've been going back and rewatching some. Right now, the 80s is my comfort zone, and I'll be straight up honest because it's just stuff too close for comfort. Pluto TV, amongst the stations they have, you can watch it on demand, and they actually have they have the I'd have to go back and look, but they have
Facts of Life.
Facts of Life station, which it's all the seasons of Facts of Life. For me, it's been too close for comfort watching Ted Knight and just kind of rewatching all that and just, oh my God, it's been to me. Rewatching Knight Rider on Netflix because also I'm probably going to pick this up because it'll probably be a little bit easier in watching it, but they have all 4 seasons of Knight Rider and box it at Walmart for like $30.
Nice.
Yeah, and then Tubi TV, as depending on when they update their seasons, went through all of am I blanking on Silver Spoons, and also rewatched all the episodes of season 4 of Different Strokes.
Damn.
And then the 80s right now, it's because I'm still sick, don't know what the fuck's wrong with me and everything, and then everything else going in this world. I don't know. I don't know if it's allergies or it's fucking reflux or what the hell's going on, but
yeah.
But just stuff to help me kind of zone, or even when I'm at work, it's just because it's just just to keep me in a fucking at least somewhat mental state.
Yeah. And it's tough. Like even revisiting some of these, like if I end up like deep in it, I started to watch Super Friends, and it doesn't hold up, and you go, oh no. Like I just put it on in the background. I just want to hear the music and the transition.
Yeah, don't.
I'm gonna
at the
compare
Hall
it.
of Justice. Like
Yeah,
that's all I have
the
to hear.
narrator on a loop.
Ted Knight.
Yeah, exactly. Now I do recall one more that from the 90s that I watched as a teenager. I love that will always I go to for comfort. Absolutely fabulous. I will put on AbFab anytime because it is just. And the thing is, I haven't watched the most recent movies, so I feel like I need to rewatch them to get back up to that. But God, that show just cracks me up every time. I love
Josh,
it.
sometimes you talk about these things, and I feel like you were born in the wrong country. I think you should have been born across the pond.
I would agree with you, actually. Yeah, I am an Anglophile.
With
so.
how much you bring up shows from the BBC and stuff.
I love it. I love it so
How
much.
did Josh grow up in Texas?
I mean, we got a handful of it through PBS. So like your Monty Python, Doctor Who.
And Comedy Central. It blew up big on Comedy Central in the 90s. So
yeah, AbFab was huge, and I remember it. And it is. They would do marathons of it, and I would watch it over and over again. It's hilarious.
I love the idea of a marathon of AbFab when there's only 6 episodes a season. So it's basically like half a day, and you've watched every episode. I mean, but anyway, sorry, go on.
All right, let me throw in a few things, and then we'll go back around once more. I know we're getting close to our line, but as far as like sitcoms, I mean, it's kind of the same thing with me. Like, there's sitcoms I just throw on. I also don't like, kind of like Clay, I don't like to have just quiet in my room. I like or The Office or whatever. Like, I like something on. Luckily for me, Comedy Central is always playing The Office.
Yes.
So I'll put that on, or Parks and Rec and stuff. Whenever I see those on TV, I'll just leave them on. I rarely go like to Peacock and stream from there. Like there's something that I like where it's like I'm doing something else, but The Office is playing in the background, so I don't care about the commercials and stuff. So yeah, The Office. The one show I will go to look for is The League from FX. At least once a year, I'll rewatch The League. It is just so funny. I like. It's not even about the fantasy. You don't even have to care about fantasy football. I think it's interesting to see
the characters.
Yeah, because at the time I was playing fantasy football, so like that part is interesting. Like I think it's funny, but it's really about the characters and these dudes that are just. I guess I kind of related a little bit to like a bunch of us were like at our real jobs now, adults, and we still were trying to find times to hang out, and we do dumb not stuff as like they do, but like just the same kind of dumb stuff where when we were hanging out and razzing each other and giving each other shit and stuff. So it's kind of like that, a little throwback to that. So and I think Jason Mantzoukas is one of the funniest people on earth. Hopefully I get to watch How Did This Get Made? It's coming to the Dallas Symphony, whatever that place is. So
really?
I get to go see them in August.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so because I love that podcast, I've been listening to forever, but they've never been to Dallas or anywhere close. I think they've been to Austin, but that's a big trip to just go to watch a podcast.
No,
unless it's our podcast, then you should drive many hours to come see us live if we ever do it.
Absolutely.
You've never driven to Austin for like one event and drove back?
Not for no. I have thought about it. I actually in 2020 I was planning to go to South by. But
yeah.
But then nothing. But then 2020 didn't happen. The year just got canceled. So
I drove down to Austin to see Kevin Smith after seeing him in Dallas, and I drove down to see Fanboys in Austin because it was only showing there, and I took a handful of people because I love that movie so much.
The furthest was whenever we went to Denton to see Kevin Smith at.
Yep.
So. And of course, like Comic Cons and stuff. So, but yeah. And then I love, like I said, I don't know. I love cable. I know it's a dumb expense, but I don't know that I'll ever get rid of it because I love I love scrolling through the channels and trying to figure out because you get to see all these movies that I wouldn't normally like put on my own.
That's what's fun about Peacock, or not Peacock, Pluto. Pluto has so many things on there. Even when you do a list of favorites, you can go through movies that you've never seen.
I need to figure out my settings because for some reason Pluto has a lot of movies in Spanish, which I could watch, but I rather watch. I mean, I rather watch the original performance. But every time I'm looking for a movie and it tells me it's on Pluto, and then I hit play, it starts playing in Spanish, and there's no way. I think they only have the license to the Spanish version.
I think that's
of the
probably
movie.
right. Yeah.
They don't have, yeah. So, but as far as those movies, like anytime I see The Core, the Hilary Swank movie, I'll stop to watch it. Yeah, it's such a weird movie.
Yeah, that's a weird. That's a strange one.
The Matrix as well. Like anytime that's on the TV, I'll stop to. Well, I don't stop to watch it. I'll just leave it on. And then the Rush Hour movies, both Rush Hour 1 and 2, which has been interesting because a lot of the humor hasn't really aged very well. And even the channels playing it will have like a little warning up front now, like, this is a movie of its time, and so whatever. Don't be offended. And I see that there's a lot of cultural insensitivity for sure. But yeah, I'll still stop by and watch those because I think I love the chemistry between Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. I think they're great. Which also brings me to the other one I didn't put on the list, but The Fifth Element too.
Oh yeah,
I love everything that happens on that casino planet. Like the rest of the movie, I don't. It's good. I enjoy the movie, but I'll usually just stop to watch like from when they get to the hotel, to when they leave the hotel. Like that whole sequence is so great. I love that the opera song and everything, like that whole parallel sequence. I just recently did a retro review of that, so it was really fun to go back and revisit it. Which I may do a couple more movies. I know this weekend was the 40th anniversary for both Blade Runner and The Thing, so maybe look for that on the channel.
Actually, it was also the 33rd anniversary of Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah. Oh wow, yeah.
But yeah, okay. Let's go once more around the horn real quick and talk about a few things, and then we'll wrap up because I know Josh may have to get out of here.
All right.
I think I'm okay. My wife just got back, so we're not that crunch for time. My wife.
Who do you want to go?
Clay, you're good.
Okay. Comic wise, I love like old Spider-Man one shots. Like if I could just find like a standalone story I can read in one read, I love those. And so I have like my essentials. I'll grab like a Man-Thing and just read like one random story because you rarely had like that wasn't written for the trade. That was a lot of standalone.
I'm gonna clip that out. I hope you know that you saying I'm gonna grab a Man-Thing is gonna be clipped.
Look, a turgid Man-Thing. I'm trying to make this a thing. All right. I'm sorry.
No.
I almost wish there was like a little like a Pluto TV for comics where it's just like they'll throw in random comics for like a day or two, and then you can go read them, and then if you miss them, then just move on to the next batch. I think that'd be really interesting.
I feel like I saw something like this recently. Like one of the services, maybe it's Crunchyroll, has both like video and manga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
is that right?
They're moving away from the free. They're moving away from the free version now that they've merged with Funimation.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's when it starts going downhill.
Because I just looked up Soul Eater because you convinced me to watch it, Danielle, and it's fucking leaving Hulu on Friday.
Oh, hurry up then!
God damn it! So anyway, sorry, go on. Sorry,
that's okay. DC holiday issues.
Hell yeah.
Whenever DC would have like, Thanksgiving or because it always reminds me that there is an Alex Ross painting of all the Justice League like decorating a tree in costume and Batman standing outside in the snow watching them. And it's just so weird to see Alex Ross like do this full painting of this ridiculous moment. But those are what I love about DC Comics are the ridiculous moments, like them celebrating. Yes, that's
so
it.
Bizarre. Why?
Don't be a creeper, Batman. Just go in there and talk to your friends.
Does Superman see him? And is like, hey, dude, just come inside.
I mean, even if he's got X-ray vision, so even if Batman's behind the wall, he can probably see him, right?
I mean, that exists in the world. That's just a fun thing. Like, I think that is just the funnest thing out of DC Comics is that they celebrate holidays together.
Martian Manhunter and Red Tornado are the ones cheering.
Well, I may tweet Alex Ross. Why is Red Tornado drinking? Isn't he?
I
Like,
just,
he's just a droid, right?
Yeah.
I just,
Android.
here's the
Oh, he's
thing. Here's
alive.
the
He is
thing.
alive.
I
But
love,
does he need water? Like, can he
Does he
consume
need
water?
No.
I love Alex Ross. It is disconcerting to see Alex Ross paint Plastic Man. Like, that should just not happen. It's a little too real. I need cartoony with Plastic Man.
It does look real. But yeah, I mean, do you guys do you have any like it was typically an 80-page giant that would have like a holiday story in it. And I just do you guys remember those very well?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah, yeah.
Talking to the old people, not Daniel.
So my favorite one, and I wish I could find it. I'm looking for it, but it was a holiday special, but it wasn't a big issue. It was like an ash can size. It was a digest size, and it was from 1982. I think my parents got it from me either 82 or 83 from Skaggs Alpha Beta. Anybody remembers those grocery stores?
Yes.
And it had and the issues in it was like it was all Christmas issue, a Teen Titans issue. It was basically a sort of their own version of a Christmas Carol. Then you had the Justice League. It was basically them taking on the Key, and the Justice League lineup was Superman, Batman, Red Tornado, John Stewart, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, and Black Canary. Had a I want to say there was a Legion of Superheroes and a Captain. The ones I remember, and a Captain Marvel Jr. Christmas story in there also. And it was just this. I wish I could find that comic book. That was a fucking phenomenal. This little digest that I had.
That Plastic Man looks like Jim Carrey.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I was hoping Josh would look up and just like be startled because
sorry, I was finding something.
While I was looking for it, you turned around, so I was like, great. By the time you turned back around, but then you were reading something.
Sorry, I was finding a comfort comic, but good.
Yeah, my X-Men, my Uncanny X-Men that I started reading, my first one was like 181. So like just collecting during that time period, issue 109 to like 200 are like nostalgic for me. And so like I love John Byrne art, I love Paul Smith's art. Anything from that time period is just kind of like comfort. I don't know why. It was what I collected as a kid. So like, and I've been doing more of the collecting aspect that's been fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not one. It's 180. It's the cover with Storm and Kitty.
Oh, okay. Well, I love that the X-Men.
Oh, that is a good one.
No. I love this issue because this is the one where they go to Japan right after they come back from War World.
Yeah.
And basically you have the kids trying to figure out who's this monster, and they have like this the kaiju book has all the monsters, and they have Godzilla, and they're like, who is it? I don't see this dragon. Who is this monster? And it's just and this is also prominent because this is the issue where Wolverine adopts his adopted daughter Akio.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh.
Yeah, you got the right cover there, Daniel.
Okay, yeah,
I
was gonna pull it up. I was gonna say the thing I love about the previous cover we were looking at was just the X-Men kind of hanging out in the logo.
Yeah.
Like I love when they do stuff like that, but I think this is the one.
That's
this
the stuff I love. I miss those kind of those kind of logos.
This version of Storm with the mohawk, and the sleeveless jacket and stuff, like
so good.
I love that version of Storm.
And it's such a great issue. Like, this is not an action-packed issue. This is an issue where Storm explains her new look to just more like...
Yeah, because Kitty hated it, right?
Yeah, she was very bothered by it.
Yeah.
She got it in
and
173,
which was...
Yeah, it was 173, which was supposed to be the marriage between Moriko and Logan.
And we know one thing about Kate Pryde. She's the peak of fashion.
Exactly. I missed
there's a reason she had a new costume every like 20 episodes.
No. She was not Janet Van Dyne. Nobody can beat the Wasp on how many different costumes she had.
Oh, that's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think the big one though is Ariel. When Kitty Pryde did the Ariel or Sprite costumes, it looked like Rainbow Bright.
Yeah.
It was Rainbow Bright as a superhero.
But yeah.
Oh, so good.
I do love these comics too. Cool.
John Romita Jr.
All right. Josh, do you want to hit it with a few more things? Oh, actually, sorry, Clay. Did you have anything else?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. The new thing for me that's been comforting is I'm doing a Guardians of the Galaxy 2008 and forward collection. So I've been buying like when we went to Half Price Books, I got a cool stack of stuff from Annihilation, the Annihilation minis, and Guardians, and seeing like the Guardians run with Bendis and all that Bradshaw art. I'd love that. Like for some, now it's like finding the issues, putting sets together, bagging and boarding, like the collecting part of comics. That has been really fun and helpful.
Cool.
Next.
Cool. All right. Kyle, you got anything else? Since I was gonna go to Josh, but then he stood up.
No, no, I'm good. But you go, Kyle.
You're being punished, Josh.
I know.
Yeah, I've been going back and rereading. I mean, for me, it's not buying anything new. It's rereading old stuff I haven't really touched in a while. So, Scooter Girl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Great. Both real and illustrated by her. This one is the trade paperback I got from half price. It's from Image, but I also have all the single issues and boxes from when it was released on Oni.
That's a cool cover.
Oh, it's an amazing cover. I love her.
I love her art.
I can never pull it off, but I've always loved the mod culture kind of stuff, 60s kind of.
Same.
Stuff. Yeah. It deals with a dude named Ashton, who basically he's the biggest player. He's a DJ, he's an artist, but every time he meets her, she's like his kryptonite. Always has like these accidents, and so his life kind of gets in turmoil. I still don't have the full thing, even though I thought about picking the full thing up now, but I still have the second part of all of JSA Stars and Stripes, which I reread. After rereading, I did not realize how much of this series was in the first season of Stargirl.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. And so that was the thing. And then also this X-Men. It's the compilation. It's both the 4 issues of X-Men versus the Avengers and X-Men versus Fantastic Four from the 1980s.
Were those the annual? I think those came out in miniseries or annuals or something.
It's miniseries. So the FF basically deals with it's right after Mutant Massacre. And Kitty's about to disperse. Like she can't keep her tangible form anymore. So the Fantastic Four go to help. But then Invisible Woman finds a journal that you find out later that's probably was left there by Dr. Doom, but basically questions Reed caused the accident to them with all the superpowers on purpose instead of it being an accident. So he starts to have an inner turmoil. And then the Avengers issue has to deal with basically what was ever left of Asteroid M crashing back down to Earth. And so basically the Avengers try to arrest Magneto to stay on trial, but then you have the Soviet Supremes, who are the Avengers, Soviet Avengers, try to get him so he could basically take him to execution. And so it's basically S-Men trying to keep him out of the hands of both sides. And so it's Silvestri on the, let me see if I remember this. We'll get these right down. Writers Chris Claremont, Roger Stern, Stan Lee, with Tom DeFalco and Jim Shooter. Pencilers John Bagnavov, Mark Silvestri, Keith Pollard, and Jack Kirby.
Wow.
Yeah, and and they also have the 1960 issues where the X-Men first met with both the Fantastic Four and then also the Avengers in here. So
I was gonna say that's probably why Stan Lee and Kirby are there. Printing some of the original stuff.
And I'm just reading this old stuff, and then I'm also and also for me again, comfort is going back and rereading. I've been rereading a couple old Oni stuff, and then there's also the issue. I'm about to reread the Mike Allard Superman crossover with Madman, and of course, everything comes right back to Starman. Starman's my always go to like comfort something. So yeah, right there. Yeah. So yeah.
I was looking for that because I love this panel.
Yeah. It's Franklin. Before he became the Omni mutant, he basically had dream powers where he could basically cast like a dream manifestation of himself. Mm-hmm. And because he was sort of a honorary member of Power Pack, he always had the costume. He dreamt of his own version of the costume on there. Yeah,
and they keep referencing this relationship whenever Franklin and anytime there's like a Fantastic Four X-Men thing, like Chip Zdarsky recently brought it up in his little miniseries.
Yeah, with the last Fantastic Four X-Men, basically they're trying to get Franklin. It was Kitty was the one that he was friends with. So,
yep, yeah, I love it.
But I always like that because that was also the X-Men one team that I came into. It was the X-Men team. It was Storm, Wolverine, Rogue, but Havoc, Longshot, Psylocke, and Dazzler were the new members of the team. That's the team I jumped in on. So.
That was right after they came out of the Siege, right? The Siege Perilous?
No, that was before.
Okay.
It's everything before the Siege Perilous. That was Mutant Massacre. So basically what happened
is... That's the team that goes through it, though, because that's how Psylocke becomes Psylocke we know today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And since you did bring up Superman and Mike Allred just real quick, I got to talk to Mark Russell for a little bit at Fan Expo.
Nice.
He's definitely promoting his new upcoming book, Superman book with Mike Allred art. So you guys should check it out when it comes out.
I'm hyped for that.
It's just
and
prestige format, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool. Well, and as a segue, also one of my feel good comics of all time is Allred's Madman. I just to sit down and read it. It never gets too dark. It's just a wonderful kind of feel good, sort of comic. It's beautiful. So that's one I always return to. Other feel good comics, of course.
I will say, Madman very much shades of Freakazoid and vice versa, right? Which I think, So I think you have a type.
Absolutely. Speaking of types, another feel good is always Ambush Bug. Can't say no to Ambush Bug, especially the classic story of the Dr. Doom sock called Argyle.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, you said Dr. Doom.
It's a Dr. Doom sock called Argyle.
Okay.
See the design? Oh, wait, wrong.
Oh, okay.
The Argyle sock
looks like Dr. Doom. Okay. I was
like, sorry, not actually Dr. Doom, just based on Dr. Doom. And then
wrong team or wrong.
I know Ambush Bug does whatever the fuck he wants, but man, he got a license for Dr. Doom. That's pretty incredible.
Copyright doesn't affect Ambush Bug. And then sort of like Clay and Kyle, I love reading older Silver Age stuff. And these new editions of the Marvel Masterworks are putting out. This is a beautiful, beautiful small paperback, $16.
Wow.
I mean, like, and unlike the old ones, they're a full color, I mean, just good stuff. And so I'm excited to dive back into these again. I love those so much. So yeah, just it's always the old stuff. And then just in terms of music, I would just say, because I'm wearing my REM shirt, now that I'm a vinyl geek, I keep ordering reissues of classic albums like They Might Be Giants. I can't do this. Or Jesus Christ, I'm so out of it. Or REM, Chronic Town. Just the sort of stuff that, again, just sort of takes me back to high school. So anyway.
Very cool. Yeah, I guess a common theme between all the stuff is things that remind us of better fun times.
Yeah,
or at least maybe,
good old days.
Yeah, memories of where we think were better fun times.
Exactly.
A few things I'll drop in real quick with some. As far as comics, I always like going back to when I started reading comics too, back in 2012, which includes a lot of stuff that's not very good as far as like critical reception, right? Because it's New 52.
Right,
all of that, but I love.
But you enjoyed it, and that's all that's important, right? Like it got you into the medium.
Yeah, that Batman run of with Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo, or like even some of the Teen Titans stuff, which is not the greatest stuff, but like that Teen Titans from New 52 was the first series I collected all the way through. It's like 32 issues, but then also I love going back to rewatch anime. Death Note is one of those because it's so short. It's only like 25 episodes that I love putting on, and even though I already know what's gonna happen, like it's always cool to see those reveals. Or also Dragon Ball, like I'll go back and watch fights, just put on fights. Same thing with Bleach or Naruto, like just going back to watch those really cool fights. And then Yu-Gi-Oh as well. I love Yu-Gi-Oh. Like that's the reason I'm still buying Yu-Gi-Oh cards and stuff, because even though I don't play the game and like I don't really keep up with the new anime and stuff, like I love going back to rewatching the old duels, because I used to play it. Like that's when I was at the height of my dueling power, going to tournaments and actually playing. So just a lot of fun stuff. The last thing I'll mention is I love cooking shows, even though I'm not I don't cook, I really don't cook. But like I love watching diners, drive-ins, and dives with Guy Fieri, like just going around and seeing all that stuff. I'm right now I'm kind of watching MasterChef. Somebody brought up MasterChef for something, and I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that in years. Like I stopped it after season 2 or 3, and it's all on Hulu, so I'm just kind of going back to watch those.
I can't watch Gordon Ramsay. He's too intense, and
Well, in Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that, he's a lot more intense. In MasterChef, because it's kind of like maybe you would probably like MasterChef Junior, which is like with kids,
Yeah.
where he doesn't yell. I mean, he can yell at them, but he doesn't really yell at them as much. But I do love because he really is trying to get these people to cook better, right? I think in Hell's Kitchen he does treat it more like his restaurants and that service, and that part for sure is a lot more stressful.
Yeah.
But in these, like he has to be a little bit more. He has to rein it back a little bit. I do love when he calls people "you donut." I've started using that. I think calling people donuts is really fun. But also like Iron Chef or the Great British Bake Off. I love the Great British Bake Off.
the Great British Bake Off. That is such a calming show.
Because everyone is just so nice to eat. Like they just want to have a good time while they're baking. So oh yeah, Next Level Chef. I did watch that this season. I hope they keep it going because it's really, really fun. That one's also a little more intense, but overall, because in the end, like they're actually like you go back and look at some of the people that have been on the shows, and it looks like it did work out for the best. Unlike some other reality shows where, if you go back to see some of the people that were in the Real World or the Road Rules Challenge or and stuff like that,
Yeah.
It didn't really end up very well for them. But for these, is like it just showcased their talent as a chef. So like they are able to like maybe open up their own business or like have their own restaurant, or sometimes they'll even grant them opportunities to work with them even if they don't win the show. So really, really fun. So yeah, that those are the things I like to kind of put in there. But that's why I think I'm always consuming something overall, like whether it be a podcast. I love listening back to episodes of How Did This Get Made, or like even if I've heard it before. I listen to our podcast sometimes. Some of the old episodes, I'll go back and throw them back on at a 1.25 speed because we record some length. We've recorded some lengthy episodes. So yeah, it's that kind of stuff. Does anybody have anything else they want to go out on before we move on to Rex? No. Okay, I did want to talk about one more thing real quick, which I think we'll address in the show event in the future. Maybe make a series and kind of come back and watch this. I shared on our Discord. So over the weekend, I found this the Reddit for DC Comics.
Yes.
They kind of voted on these. I think it's like 71 series overall that they kind of voted and put together as the top runs in DC Comics. So I don't know exactly what I want to do with it, but I wanted to at least show you guys because like there's stuff here that I know you got, like
Starman
at 13, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we'll all have an opinion. We've read a variety of these, so we're gonna do something with this list, whether it's short form videos or maybe have a show on it, like where we kind of talk about some of these. Because some of these would take a long time to actually read, like to get through all of Grant Morrison's Batman or the Flash or
his Justice League,
even Alan Moore, like reading all of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing or Sandman, like that stuff would take a while. But there's some really good stuff on this list. I'm surprised to see some of the more modern stuff, like this Harley is from a couple years ago. This Superman Smashes the Klan is from a few years ago.
Yeah, that was just like that was during COVID, right? That came out.
Sector's very recent. Grayson's fairly recent. So, we'll do something with this list, but we'll tweet it out. I think it's a fun list if you want to get into comics.
Oh, definitely.
At least like some stuff. I hope maybe they do something like this for Marvel.
I
think it'd be fun. Or maybe they already have. This kind of came up on my feed, and I was like, oh, this is content, baby. Let's grab it.
Content, baby.
But yeah, all credit goes to the people that run the DC Comics Reddit, which I don't normally visit because comic book Reddits sometimes are a hellscape. But but every once in a while, something good comes up. So, all right. With that, let's move on to Rex, and I'll start with Josh only because he's first on our list, and I don't have anything ready.
Yeah, sure. So, again, I guess in keeping with the theme of the show to a certain degree, this week saw the release of the Shadowrun trilogy of video games on consoles. These are 3 games that came out by Harebrained Schemes. It's Shadowrun Returns, Shadowrun Dragonfall, and Shadowrun Hong Kong. And they are, kind of like turn-based strategy RPG games. I played nearly all of the first game and have started the second one once or twice. And I just, so for me, they're on Game Pass on Xbox. So if you have Game Pass, it's there. Just go download them. I forgot how good these games are, to the point where, like, probably when we're done, I'm going to go throw some laundry in and then go sit down and keep playing Dragonfall, because I've been completely sucked into it. And the adaptation into console and controller works great. I've really had no problems. One slight qualm I have is that the games came out in like the early 2010s. I think the first one was 2012. And so the maps can't rotate, but they're still isometric. And so the maps can be kind of cluttered. And so as you're trying to, like, when you're playing with like a mouse and a keyboard, you just click where you want to go and it auto navigates. Here I'm constantly running into stuff or like hitting the edge of a map because I can't tell it's sort of, closed. So that's been a bit weird. I've had a weird bug where like suddenly my teammates they just float behind me. They're not animated anymore. And other NPCs like move at like double speed. I'm like, dude, what happened? Like, I just booted up a save game and suddenly they were all doing this. But it's hell a lot of fun, and the games are just so good. Great storytelling, really, really compelling stories. If you don't know, Shadowrun is a universe that is cyberpunk, but also has magic.
Yeah. And
fantasy elements. And so it kind of has something for everyone, right? If you're like, well, I want the cyberpunk, I want to like deck and I want to, like hack things. It's got that for you. If you're like, I want to play an orc that like does magic or shamanism, it's got that for you. Like it's kind of the perfect setting if you like sci-fi, but you want just little aspects tied in of fantasy. Yeah. So highly, highly recommend them. So that's my pick of the week.
Cool. Clay, you got anything?
Yeah, Drive-Thru RPG. I got some solo games from Josh and looked up the person who wrote them has like a whole section of just solo RPG games and has written core rule books for them. But the cool part is they've rolled out a new thing that is like a neon cyberpunk 80s theme solo RPG. So, oh, you got the books?
Yeah, just 2 of them, just 2 of them. But these are the older like fantasy horror ones. So,
but Drive-Thru RPG has them all in PDF, so you can just go through, grab them. You get the core rules and for like the solo stuff that I'm looking at there. And then they just have from 50 cents to I think $5 for solo games.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for cool, fun solo stuff, there's a huge section in there.
If you're tired of playing solitaire on your computer.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Yahtzee lately on my phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. But I've been trying to put together it. Your dungeon. You roll your dungeon size, and you roll for the doors, and you roll for what happens as you go into each room. It's just a solo adventure you do yourself, and it's pretty fun how it has it all mapped out. But Drive-Thru RPG has so much more there because there's like stuff like Star Frontiers is an old TSR game that isn't available physically anymore, but they have all the PDFs there. You could buy them still. And is there any other stuff I'm missing, Josh? I know you're a big user of Drive-Thru RPG.
I mean, it's got tons. I mean, there's a whole. It's still Drive-Thru RPG, but there's a whole like sub store that's just D&D 5e stuff. I forget the name for it.
You could look under
Pathfinder
each
one.
rule setting and just sort by that. So if you want to look at just Pathfinder 2E or Dungeons and Dragons 5E, they have them sorted that way too.
And they do have a bunch. Again, it's the same parent company, but they have a bunch of subsites, and there is one that's just comics.
Yeah, Drive-Thru
Comics. There's Drive-Thru Fiction.
Drive-Thru
It's. I mean, this site was a godsend for me when I was first getting back into RPGs because I didn't know where to go to buy stuff, and I just wanted at the time PDFs. And I went to this site for the first time. I was like, holy crap. And you can get stuff that's been long out of print. Like they're bringing it back into print, like you were saying, Clay.
Yeah.
And so I got like the old edition of like Paranoia and, old like White Wolf stuff. I mean, it's all there. It's amazing. So yeah, great site.
Cool.
And that's all I got.
Kyle, you got anything?
Yeah, a friend threw me on this yesterday. It's a YouTube channel called The Nine Club. It's basically a channel for skaters, but they have from their episode 221 on March 21st, 2022, they had a 3.5 hour interview with Jason Lee.
Very quickly. Cool.
Yeah, and I've been, luckily they also have an audio format too, so you can get there if you can't sit down and watch, for 3.5 hours. But it's just a lot of fun. But he started talking about like his early days of skating.
Oh wow!
And gets into like photography and starts talking about movies and everything. But it's just him, It's just a lot of fun, but it's just him just talking about his early life and kind of where he goes now. And so, yeah, just if you
just
like Jason
because a
Lee,
guy reads some comics doesn't mean he can't get old.
Wait, that's why I've been doing it.
Wow, man, he looks like us.
Yeah. Well, the man's like, how old is he? Hold on.
I mean, he's our age, right?
Yep.
52, born 1970.
Oh, he's 5 years older than I am, but yeah.
But still
All
skating.
Right.
Well, cool.
Good for him.
I got two quick things. One comic I read, one I haven't. But I'm going to recommend it anyways. So the first one, Sins of the Black Flamingo, is coming out this week from Image Comics. It's described as occult noir meets Miami sleaze, which is really interesting.
That cover's amazing.
Yeah. Drawn by Andrew Wheeler with Travis Moore art, Tamara Van Vellen colors, and Aditya Vidikar on letters. And the other thing is The Variants. This is it's a new book from Marvel. It's about Jessica Jones, and it's by Gail Simone and Phil Noto. And
Nice.
I'm never not gonna buy a Phil Noto book, but if you throw Gail Simone on there, like I'm gonna get it even harder.
Yeah, that's a solid team up. I love that.
So yeah, I really love that. Whoop. Hold on. That was not for the people in the audience. But yeah, now that's it. So we'll come back, do some more stuff later on. I do want to give a quick shout out to our Patreons real quick. Sabrina, Mike, I Read Comics, and Final Neil. Thank you guys. We really appreciate
Thank you very much.
You guys rock.
And also, thanks to everyone that subscribed to the channel. We just crossed 700 this week.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Really, really cool. So yeah, we're gonna kind of keep going. We'll put out more stuff, comic reviews, all that stuff. People listening to our audio podcast, we really appreciate that. If you want to hear the main meat of the episode with some of the nonsense from the beginning, I think that's the perfect way to listen to our podcast. But yeah, we're putting out those bi-weekly through the Geek Collective. So make sure to check out your podcast platform. But I think that's it. I think we did it.
Yes.
We did. I mean, this was a
We
long
didn't even
one.
talk about Kenobi.
Yeah, we didn't. We'll just do. I think we'll do a Kenobi show maybe that week that Josh is one of those.
I know. I'm always the
You know what?
hang-up.
I'd rather you focus on watching Ms. Marvel because I know you'll watch.
Yeah, I need to watch
Kenobi,
it.
But I think.
Did you guys find out how they're retconning the Inhumans thing?
It's
No.
such a delight. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if everybody's caught up. So.
Do you guys want to know or?
Yeah, I do.
Clandestine.
Oh yeah, from the comics. Yeah.
Clandestine. What's his fucking name? Hold on.
Hey, Clay, shout out your other podcast real quick because I keep meaning to add it and I forget.
Oh, Unsocial Spectators.
Unsocial Spectators. Thanks.
Yeah, that's just me and Mark, and we are doing a lot of Gen X stuff. Currently, we are going through the films of our lives as we start in 1965 and pick a movie a year. That is the format so far.
All right.
Yeah,
I got it.
Oh no, I love the fact that one of your most recent episodes, you finally came to a couple of Nicolas Cage movies that were like, meh.
Mark specifically does Nicolas Cage just so that you'll comment.
I love it.
Yeah, and he watched two. They were just like, I don't even know why they were made. It's like they were horrible.
Well, I mean, he's going through everything. So, like, when he comes from the library, I see a stack of like 15 to 20 movies. So he's consuming them en masse.
Nice. All right. Did you find out, Kyle, or should we save it for the next one?
I'm at least trying to find the artist who does on this one. Oh God.
Yeah.
If I bring up the artist,
Ms. Marvel has been a lot of fun, so make sure to go check it out.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
Alan Davis created him.
Yeah. So really cool. So they have great hair at least.
Yeah.
And then also go, if you haven't seen Doctor Strange, go watch it. It's now on Disney Plus. I know Kyle just recently watched it. What did you think, Kyle? Did it live up to everything we talked about?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. It's
I thought the her annihilation of the Illuminati was pretty interesting.
Yeah, there was a lot more horror in that movie than I was anticipating.
That was.
But I love it.
I love the parts like saying, "Hey, you didn't vomit. Oh, you couldn't. It's not my first travel through dimensions. Let's go."
Yeah, that's right. So, all right, cool. Well, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Sounds good.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Let's get out of
Let's
here.
ride.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Twitter loves you.
Oh yeah. Clay.
Hell, Bebo.
Josh, Simonson, or get the fuck out.